5 in a row.
It's Sunday night. You are tapping in to TYA post-game show. That's your ass. And this is The Catch.
I know you're scared. Yeah, I do too. If I were you. I know you're scared. I do too. If I were you. You better bring your A game. Bring your A game. You better bring your A game. You better bring your A game. Bring your A game. You better bring your A game. Cause all I know is you better bring your A game. Bring your A game. You better bring your A game. You better bring your A game. Bring your A game. You better bring your A game.
Well, 5 in a row.
5 in a row. What can you say? Hey, it was a tale of two halves, but we still got the W. So
Yeah, I mean, people like to blame Kirk all the time for winning the one-score games. Well, we found out today, not just Kirk.
I'm starting to wonder if it's more KOC in his play calling. That's really starting. I'm starting to have a lot of questions. You know, he did this last year, where the team would come out like a house of fire, and then they would disappear for a couple of quarters. And we kind of saw that today, but it was a whole half. You know, the first half, the first half was probably the best Vikings football we had seen all year. Best half. And
Definitely a long time.
Yeah, and then the second half, they go right back to being that. I don't know what it is. It's almost like it is a KOC thing. There's something in his metal that he can't win by more than 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, it's like it's funny because the only team that we can seem to beat by more than 1 touchdown is the Packers, which I'm perfectly fine with.
Which I'm fine with. We can beat them by 10 touchdowns. That's fine by me. They can just run up the score. But yeah, he gets kind of conservative.
Yeah,
I should say. Now there were a couple plays in the second half that I thought for sure he should have challenged was the third quarter?
Non-first down when Dobbs did the run and he was clearly a first down, but in typical Minnesota Vikings fashion, the referees called him short.
Right, and the refs were going to do that all game.
Yeah.
And he should have challenged that one instead of challenging the ones that he did. But yeah, Joshua Dobbs, kid can play. Let's just put it out there.
Yeah,
he can play. He looked good. TJ Hawkinson today, earache. What that dude for the last 2-3 games has looked like
with a rib injury.
Rib injury.
Yeah.
Has looked like the top tight end in football. And today alone, he was taking some hits that were, I'm sorry, the NFL used to make videos about him.
Oh yeah.
And
the other bad penalty, just real quick, it was the hands to the face on Daniil Hunter when he was the one that got his helmet ripped off.
What was that referee looking at?
I don't know. He made up for it the next play by getting the sack, but that was a third down.
Yeah, that was a third down. I'm like, where's hands? If anybody was hands to the face, it was the lineman on Daniil.
Yeah.
But yeah, the NFL officiating all year has been questionable. With a lot of people, if you think the fix is in, there are some games that have been played where you could stress that point. But we won. We hung on to win. We knocked Derek Carr out of the game.
I don't think the game would have been as close if
No.
he stayed in the game because they prepared for Derek Carr.
Right.
Winston's a totally different quarterback than Carr is. Carr is more reserved. He won't take as many chances. Winston just throws it all over the place. He don't care.
Winston will let it fly, and he's a turnover machine. So,
but he was 2 for 2 his career. He's pretty much even with interceptions and touchdowns, and that's the reason why we saw it today.
Yep.
Saint fans, because I was listening to some of the Saints post game, they want Winston the rest of the year because they'd rather have him take chances, and if he throws an interception, than what they were getting from Carr. And if I was a Saints fan, I don't know if I would disagree with that.
You know what? I wouldn't. And you kind of get an idea as to why Winston wasn't traded at the deadline either, because they knew something like this was going to happen.
Yeah.
So
Carr got rocked today.
Carr looked like Carr.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Carr looked like Carr.
So, yeah, I mean, Madison, I think, proved to himself again today that he's a backup.
I just got one question. They keep putting him out there as a starter. He's not a starter. He's not. He just is not a starter. If you need a yard, he's not going to get you it.
Yeah, he's not the Leroy Horde.
He's not Leroy. He's like the reverse Leroy Horde.
Yeah.
If you need a yard, he'll lose 2.
Right.
If you need 2 yards, he'll lose 3.
I mean, think about it. He had 5 carries before Ty Chandler got his first. Ty Chandler on his 1 carry had more yards rushing than what Madison did.
Oh, and by the way, thanks a lot, Brian O'Neill, for that holding call to wipe out Chandler's touchdown. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know whose idea it is to keep. What's up, Zoe?
My guy Tony, what's the deal?
What's going on, brother?
Man, I can't complain.
You kind of wonder though, who's calling the shots that's keeping Madison in the game, because he should not be starting. He should not be playing. Period. He should be on the sideline. So, he's got to.
Yeah, I'm going to watch it back because I got NFL Plus, so I'm going to watch it back in the all 22.
Mm-hmm.
Even from the TV copy, you can see the holes that he missed. The all 22 doesn't lie. The all 22 actually shows the holes that you missed.
Oh, he missed, and it was plain as day that he missed them.
Yeah.
Plain as day. I mean, the hole's on the left. And his ass is running where the hole isn't. He's running to the right. I'm like, come on, dude. Really? Come on. You miss that big, gigantic hole that Darrisaw put there. You go to run behind Bradbury. What the hell's wrong with you?
Well, it's like, was it Zoe who said that he likes to eat booty? That's why he runs.
Straight up, Joe.
Yeah, because we did the live streaming during the game, and Zoe's like, he must like to eat ass because he runs up the ass to the lineman.
Blue, where y'all see Blue at, man? What they talking about?
Oh my God. Oh, by the way, what was the score of that Lions game?
41-38.
Yeah, some shit like that.
Jeez. Thanks a lot, Chargers.
Every time the Lions would go down to score, the Chargers would come right back. But then Dan Campbell went for it on 4th and 3. And there was a tight end was here. Defensive back was here. Defensive back was here. He just –
that game was horrible, man. There was no defense.
There's no defense side.
I'll tell you what. I wish KLC would take more chances like that.
Yeah,
well, he should have went for it.
Field goal attempt.
Instead of kicking that field goal, which, I'm not going to kill Greg Joseph. Yes, it was indoors, but it was still 54 yards. And us as human beings, we're not perfect, so they're not going to make every kick. We all said during the live broadcast that he should have went for it instead of kicking.
Yeah, he should have went for it.
Yeah,
just like he should have challenged that Dobbs run, because that was clearly a first down.
Yeah, but he challenged that other play.
Yeah. He challenged the fumble that.
Yeah. Well, the 2 catches, the Addison catch, and then the catch by Kamara.
Yep.
Those
I'll give Troy Dye credit. That was a good play by Troy Dye.
Yeah.
To break it up, but he was down.
Oh my God.
So,
yeah, we got the W, y'all. Shout out to Too Evil in the building. We got Mick Andrews in the building. Our queen of mean, Sarah is in the building.
Hey, we'll drop that link for Sarah to join.
Yep.
MWO, what's up?
What up, NWO?
What up, Vikings funeral?
My mama was in here earlier. I don't know if she still is, but
Do-do-do-do.
that was a Tweety Bird. The first one you shared.
Mama TYA. Hey,
Mama TY
it's
in the
Sunday
building.
night. It's a freaking party. Hold on.
Yeah.
Money blew it out by the weekend.
That's what happens when we get the dubs.
There's two unconscionable Michigan fans in this room.
Oh,
right
there
now.
she go.
Oh,
Between my mom and Zoe, we got two unconscionable Big Blue fans.
Yeah, 'cause I don't know what you were talking about yesterday. Shit.
Oh no! What about them not maybe being the number one team because their schedule is not as strong as other teams? Yeah, it's a possibility.
Yeah, go blue.
Who's number one today?
I think Georgia.
Yeah, I told you. Georgia was going to leapfrog them. I said people were just waiting for Georgia's offense to show up, and that's what happened.
They got Michigan ranked number 3.
So, I
What?
told you. Their schedule. I told you.
Who's number two?
Michigan's
I
only
don't
played
know.
two great teams all year.
Who?
The team they just played, Penn State, and
other
someone I think, or I'm not sure who the other one was, but it was earlier in the season. Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. Jets and the Raiders. That's
This
wild.
is, you know
Yeah.
what? This is just painful. This is.
Why would you do? Well, I ain't got that shit on my TV.
I got it on and it's on mute, but it's just painful to look at.
I didn't even want to watch it.
These two teams are just bad.
Yeah, I don't know what KLC was doing in the fourth quarter, though.
He did. You know, he did this last year, though.
Yeah, but he did good the 4 games ago. He was doing good.
He showed he looked like he was finally going to take that step to where he was going to, if he had the chance to put the nail in somebody's coffin, he would. Like he was just going to put him out. He was going to be like, I'm going to score more than 2 touchdowns.
Purdy wasn't ranked.
He won't
Michigan
do
played
it.
him.
He won't do it. I don't get that.
I mean, we all thought it was Cousins got conservative, but maybe it's not. Maybe it's
I think it was KLC.
in his play calling.
You seen that today.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying.
I thought it was KLC.
There's no way. Like look at the Cowboys. Look what they did to the Giants. Did they let
They
their foot
always
off the
beat up
gas?
on the Giants, though.
Did
They
they
let
let
the
the
Giants.
How
They
bad
let
was
the
it?
Giants get them 40
It was
points
like-
every time they play.
52-3, I think,
They
But
put
they didn't-
52 on him?
something like that. But they
Are
didn't
you? Oh my God!
they didn't take their foot off the gas. They just kept going.
No. My boy
You know?
Mike, what's the deal? Mike,
What's up, Mike?
Thank you for
Yeah.
vibing with us, Mike.
Yeah. Put that link out there. Put that link out there so Mike can join.
And Sarah, that's true. We would have if not for the penalty that O'Neal had.
That was a bullshit penalty.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
three. There was a lot of penalties in that game that were questionable.
Well, the refs were getting into it. They was
O'Neal
making some questionable calls.
O'Neal actually got ran over. He's got decleated. Was getting knocked to the ground, and yet you call him for holding. Just like that. Just like the Eagle hands to the face when Daniil got his helmet ripped off.
Yeah, that was wild.
I
Yeah,
mean,
that makes no. That's
it was ridiculous. You
well.
know?
You put it this way: if the officials, if a game is getting out of hand, the officials will bring it closer. I just have that feeling, unless you're the Giants who can't get your ass kicked by your own shadows, and then they'll just let it go. They'll just let it go.
The link for Mike and Sarah that you guys usually join. So,
But I mean, it's I give KLC credit. He played one solid half of football.
Yeah.
The best half of football he's had since he's been here, probably. But then in the second half, it just looked like he got too conservative. Like, you
can't coach scared though,
and he's doing that. Yeah, if you go scared, you're going to lose.
Yeah,
you're going to lose. And he's lucky that so far he's got away with it. But I mean, like last year, the same script every week. You come out like a house of fire, then you disappear for 2 quarters,
right?
And then you pour it on towards the end to finally win it. And today, they played a great half.
Yeah,
And
they
then all of a
did.
sudden they just were kind of like, well, this is real conservative. But
I'm
and I
like,
know,
damn.
yeah.
I'm like,
And-
KOC trying to sabotage my boy Dobbs. What is going on? Like, what is going on with this?
It has, and like I said before, just take Madison out of the damn game.
I hate when he get the ball.
Just take him out of the game. I don't mean to say this.
Well,
The man is worthless. He's worthless.
let's get the fiery Sarah's thoughts on that.
Yeah.
Hello.
No.
What's up?
So, your thoughts on Madison?
Oh dear God! I just I don't ever wish injury on anybody, but I was like, well, now that he's injured, we're gonna see Ty Chandler.
Yeah,
And-
we got to see King Iguanitu.
We got to see Canoe play.
Yeah.
Right.
That was
know?
like one of the most beneficial injuries.
No, Dylan, we would still talk about how he conservative on.
He was very conservative. I mean,
Yeah.
I give the man credit. He won, and he's won what? This
Yes.
is what his 19th win in two.
Well, he was 13-4 last year. They're 6-4, so he's 16-8.
Right. So I give him
That's
credit, but
2 wins per 1 loss, so it's pretty good.
but he just cannot win by more than 2 touchdowns. He just can't.
But then I
Right.
think the Saints defense turned up too. So
Yeah.
they
They
turned
did,
up
but
and they stopped us because I think they were just trying to run the ball to kill time in the second half.
they got it. Here's the thing: we still have to get that running game going. And down,
But it did look better today.
Yeah, and as we go further down into the season, that running game is going to be important to take time off the clock and help that defense. But they gotta
Don't worry.
create some holes.
Don't
You
worry,
know.
Cook will be back.
Yeah, we know Greg missed that field goal, but like I said, the kickers miss.
I would have went. You know what? I would have went for it.
I would have went for it anyway.
Yeah.
But
Well, punt
I
the
would've went for
motherfucker. Shit.
Or try a pooch kick. I would have went
Yeah.
for it.
I would have went for it. There was with the way defense was playing.
You had the
Yeah.
momentum, and
Yeah.
that would have been that kind of like that killer instinct to just let's put them out of their misery, score
Yeah.
this, get this first down, and just run it down their throats.
They
You know.
can't
got
run it
Dave
down.
in
They
the
can't run
building.
it down nobody's throat now.
You're gonna have to do it one of these days. You're gonna
Yeah.
have to. With Dobbs now, Dobbs can run the ball, so that gives you that element.
Yeah,
of
yeah,
a bootleg.
44 yards again today.
Yep.
Yeah. He was
Yeah, it
1
was
yard
just-
shy.
It was so like weird to see a quarterback that belongs to us running, scrambling around, extending a play to throw to TJ Hawkinson. Like, holy shit, that's our quarterback.
We haven't seen that in 6 years, to be honest.
Hell no, not
real.
with Kirk. Not with Kirk on the building.
No, we haven't seen that and then before him, Case Keenum?
Yep.
But Case Keenum was a runner. He was more of a scrambler.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, but that's the last time we haven't seen a mobile quarterback probably since years.
Culpepper,
Culpepper,
probably.
yeah, Dante. So I'm like I told my friend, I'm like, dude, this is strange having a mobile quarterback for the
Running that
Vikings.
thing.
I'm not used to this. I'm just not used to this. And then when he scored that touchdown, I'm like, I'm really not used to that.
Like, usually we're the ones on the other side being all envious. Like, man, I wish we had that.
Yeah, we're somebody's highlight reel when it comes to those plays. And it's kind of weird having, you know what though? The best thing was it wasn't damn Saints.
Yep.
The best thing was the Saints. It'd been nicer if it was what's his name, but
He said Joe Webb.
Sean.
oh my god.
Sean Payton.
Sean Payton, yeah, which we got.
Well, we get him next week.
Yeah, we get him
So
next week.
National
TV, folks.
Sunday night, I believe.
Sunday night. They
And
did.
we
They
will
didn't
be
flex
here.
it. They didn't
we
flex
will-
it.
we will be doing our post game show too. So
I think JJ needs to come back next week because I don't think Addison.
Well, he almost played today, 'cause
He wanted to play today.
he was questionable for today's game, so
Yeah.
he should play next week.
He wants back. I
Yeah.
think for the Viking coaches, it's going to be like, we're coming up on a bye week for the Vikings. So do you bring him back a couple games early, or do you wait till after the bye? So it's kind of like, but he wants to play. He wants to play.
We got to win Sunday though.
Yeah.
Yeah, with the Lions winning, we got to.
Yeah, we can't look at anybody to help us with the Lions, so we're going to have to just
maybe the Cowboys. That's it. That's their only hard game left.
Right.
Or they play the Saints. I think in 2 weeks at New Orleans.
And Winston's probably starting that game.
Oh, the Saints has a good defense though, just not today. But they
can't cover tight ends.
No, they can't.
Was their weakness coming in. They can't cover tight ends, and we saw what Hawkinson did. Yeah,
he tore their ass apart.
Mm-hmm. But like I said, Hawkinson was taking hits that you haven't seen probably since like the NFL's greatest hits videos that they used to put out. Right. He was getting just tagged.
He had plays, bad ribs too. He still.
That's probably why our second half offense kind of disappeared too. Because I'm sure he was pretty injured too. So I don't think they wanted to like throw him the ball too much if we're already leading.
Right. Which I can understand too.
I mean, they did have a 24-point lead, but you don't want to get too conservative. You still want to run your offense.
But here's my thing, though. In KOC, you've got the Vikings got 10 extra deep tight ends on this team. You can still find a way to run the ball. Just don't give it to Madison. That's the biggest one. Just don't give it to Madison.
Oh, you can give it to Madison, just don't have Madison start.
No, you can't give it to Madison no more. He done wore out his carries.
Yeah.
He done wore out his carries.
He got better. Because he got better towards the end of the game because I think he realized the situation that was going on. Like, I better step it up or I'm not playing no more. So,
yeah, they were targeting his ribs.
It's the Saints. They're dirty.
Yeah, it was the Saints. Well, it was dirty when Nwangu on that sweep, literally the dude tried to twist his helmet off his head.
Yeah. And
did he really think that wasn't going to be called? Come on now.
I mean, by the way the referees were going, we may have a chance.
Well, that crew, I call shenanigans on them anytime they call up any play, any NFL game. Because
T-Bass, it's not really about this year. You want the hamstring to be as close to healthy as it can be because if it doesn't fully heal, it can. As your career, you just keep getting torn hamstring after torn hamstring after torn hamstring. So,
and hamstrings are tricky. They can seem like you're fine, and when you start running and cutting it on it, all of a sudden it pops again. So
the Lions defense is not good, but neither is the Chargers defense. So you kind of got the game that you expected. Exactly. But the way the Cowboys played today, they're not beating the Cowboys in Dallas.
Didn't the Cowboys beat the Giants earlier, like 41-0?
They always do that to the Giants.
They always beat.
On the Giants, in Giants defense, they were down to their third string quarterback. Okay.
So are we?
I don't mean nothing. 40-something points.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, they came up. It was like they scored 17 points or something. So I mean, it wasn't like
who scored 17 points?
Huh?
Who scored 17 points?
It was like something to 17.
I thought I saw the final score is 52-3, but I could be wrong.
They scored at the end.
I'll find out in a minute here.
Garbage points is still points.
And she got a point.
They still lost about 30 something. Shit.
Oh, it was 40. It was 49-17.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's still better than 42-0.
The Giants
might as well have been.
They scored 10 points in the fourth quarter.
Oh, and the Cardinals pulled it out against the Falcons. Damn.
I seen that.
Wow.
Kyler Murray was back running.
Doing Kyler Murray things.
Well, Heineke got hurt. So
Ritter had to play.
Yeah.
And they gave Bijan Robinson the ball, and he fumbled again.
Damn.
So that's why he don't play.
That's why he doesn't carry the ball.
That's why he doesn't get all the carries because they finally started feeding him the ball and getting him carries. And
he put it on the turf.
He put it on the turf again.
That's something I want to address because people keep saying that, we've won 5 games without JJ. But really, do you guys think we would have won 5 games if we had the same amount of turnovers that we did in those first couple of games? No. We're winning without JJ, but it's because the turnovers are not like how they were at the beginning of the season.
If the Vikings did not turn the ball over, I think they probably only have one loss right now. I think the Eagles game would be the game that they lost.
Yeah,
well, I
Eagles,
just don't like
because
this.
the Eagles would have figured out, hey, we can just run the ball every damn play and they can't stop it.
Yeah.
Plus, the defense also was not the same level that the defense is now. That they were still trying to figure out Brian Flores' defense. I think they have a full understanding of the defense as well. But yeah, the turnovers were the big reason why they lost to the Buccaneers. You know, in the first game, reason
And
they
the
lost to the
second,
Chargers.
I mean, like all those games, we had like at least 4 turnovers each.
Yeah, that's why I say you should have had to maybe play a little bit in preseason.
So the notion that we are better without JJ is kind of ridiculous because it's like we are better now because our defense is playing better and we're not committing 4 turnovers in a game.
Well, they almost had one today. That catch, Jordan Addison's catch, was kind of a toss up, and Jordan Addison got it. But
but
other than
we're
that,
not committing like 4 in one game.
Oh
like
no,
we were,
yeah, we've toned that down.
Yeah.
Now, do they win next week with Kirk at quarterback?
So we probably would have lost today with Kirk at quarterback.
Yeah, it's iffy.
Said the Saints was on Dobbs' ass.
Dobbs made some plays, and they had a spy on him, and he still made plays.
Yeah, Kirk would have stood a chance today.
Yeah,
but there's goes back to there's some throws that Dobbs missed that Cousins would have hit, so we don't know.
Oh, we know. So you see that pressure?
Yeah,
well,
pressure.
You don't have to defend a lot of grass when you know that quarterback ain't moving.
So
when you know he's just a statue back there.
I mean, it's easy to say they wouldn't have won this game with Cousins, but you don't know because the game plan would have been everything's different with Cousins at quarterback. You can't say they definitely would have lost this game because if Cousins played.
They could have. Dobbs' mobility factor is a huge intangible for us.
I'm not saying it's not. I'm just saying you can't say that they definitely would have lost if Cousins was the quarterback because it's a different offense with him. He gets he gets rid of the ball quicker, and he.
Cousins is more predictable. Put it that way.
But
Cousins would be more predictable. But also today, the Saints, they're still a very undisciplined team with all the penalties and all the bullshit that they do. They're still very undisciplined.
Yeah, because the first half, they got all the penalties called against them, and all of a sudden the referees came out at halftime and go, we're going to call everything on Minnesota now, and nothing on New Orleans.
Well, they do that. The refs do that. Unless you're Miami, unless you're Philadelphia, then the other team gets all the penalties, and Philly doesn't get a call at all.
Yeah.
So, but you know what? You can't. I mean, you can complain about some things, but I mean, my God, we're 5-0 the last 5 games, and 6 out of 7.
60-year-old men should not be referees.
No,
hell no.
No, they should either be in the press box or at home watching the game. Not on the field chasing down players that run like a 4.240.
and they're like at a 5.5.
Yeah.
Because if that referee that called Dobbs short, if he was a younger guy that could run faster, he would have been closer to the play. He would have been like, oh, yeah, he got that.
Well, somebody in the Viking press box should have told KLC to challenge that.
Yeah. Which one? The catch, the end zone?
No, the
Dobbs run. The Dobbs run was the first down.
Yeah. Well, they called him short. They should have, because I'll tell you what, if the momentum was still on the Vikings side, then if they had scored then, it would have been a wrap. The thing that killed the Vikings' momentum was that bullshit Danielle Hunter penalty.
Yeah,
that's what really killed the Vikings' momentum.
What was the over under today for today's game?
40? I don't know what the over. I think it was 40 something.
Yeah, 40.
And the Saints were favored by 3.5.
Saints were favored. Yes, they were.
I think as long as we have Dobbs, we're always going to be the underdog.
I don't think. They're playing on the road next week, so they're going to be the underdog. But no, not when they play the Bears. I think
the Bears they'll be favored.
Yeah, they'll be favored against the Bears.
I don't know. I'm watching this Raider team. I wouldn't be surprised if we're favored against them. This team is terrible.
We played the Raiders this year?
Yeah, after the bye.
They had their big win last week. They're still recovering from that.
Now, here's the thing. Y'all want to talk about conspiracy theory?
What?
What is the Super Bowl logo this year? What 2 colors are they?
I saw that.
Purple and red.
Purple and red.
The Vikings and the Chiefs.
So yeah. And where is it? Las
Or
Vegas.
the Ravens and the Niners.
Not after what happened to the Ravens today.
Oh yeah, that was funny. Yeah, that was funny.
You let Deshaun Watson come back and beat your ass.
Well, Lamar actually went out there and looked like he did. He looked like Deshaun a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
But yeah, they
always play each other tough though.
no, they got that history. So
Yeah.
and they don't like each other.
I mean, the Bengals lost too. Like, woof.
The Bengals did not look good today.
Okay, I got to give it up to C.J. Stroud. He's going to be that Ohio State quarterback that breaks that mold.
I knew they were going to beat the Bengals though.
Did you?
The Bengals defense is awful.
I made a video about that.
Joe Burrow can only cover up so much.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, they lost all those defensive players
Yeah.
in free agency.
Yeah.
and Stroud lit him up. He lit them up, and so did Tank Dell. Is it Tank Dell?
Tank
Wide
Dell.
receiver?
Yeah, that's the guy I wanted the Vikings to draft. I mean, I'm glad they drafted Jordan Addison, but Tank Dell was a guy I was big on. But
Isn't he even smaller than Addison?
Yeah, he is.
Yeah,
He is.
But he played big though, for real.
Yeah, he plays
does.
bigger than his size.
Yeah, he played real
Yeah,
big.
that's why he's called Tank, because even though he's small, he plays like a tank.
Yeah.
So,
Oh yeah, I'll tell you what, the Steelers aren't the team they used to be, but the Packers.
I was so tempted. I was listening to the Packers vent line today. I was so tempted to type in the chat. So you guys are figuring out what life is like without a Hall of Fame quarterback. But I didn't.
You should have did it.
Well, then they'll be like, well, how many Super Bowls do you have?
Yeah, right. That same shit.
Considering they ain't been in one in almost 20 years, it doesn't matter because guess what? They suck right now. So they're not going to be in the Super Bowl for an even longer time because their team sucks.
I can't wait to listen to the Score North does Vikings does Packers vent line. I can't wait to listen to that show.
Oh, it's comical. It is like the highlight of my radio listening. Whenever I
Can
listen
we
to them.
officially say that Dobbs is better than Love?
Yes.
Well, think about this. Dobbs has been
yeah.
our quarterback for 2 weeks. He already has more wins with us in his 2 starts than he had all season when he started for the Cardinals.
Yeah.
He only had 1 win as a starting quarterback, and he
he's
beat
got the same amount of wins as Love.
And he beat
Exactly.
the Cowboys.
He beat the Cowboys.
Pretty
Beat the
soundly.
Cowboys handily.
Yeah, pretty soundly. So, I mean, if KOC can teach him to be a little bit better at the quarterback part, like throwing on time, throwing accuracy, and throwing like that, I think Dobbs is better. Would you say Dobbs is either on the level or better than Geno Smith?
On the level, younger version maybe.
But
You see what Geno Smith is doing. in
But Geno now looks like a veteran, where Geno
Right.
now can read defenses. He can see what they're doing better. He doesn't really, and he used to rely on his feet a lot too.
Yeah.
But he's that backup quarterback. He'll run when he has to, but he's not going to take off all the time. He's like what Randall was when Randall did his stint here. Randall was a much more better drop back quarterback, but could still take off if needed to.
But so do we keep Dobbs after this year?
Yes.
I mean, would Dobbs be the starter next year?
Depends
Depends.
how high our draft pick is for the quarterback.
It also depends on what kind of, because I hate to say it, I think they're going to bring Kirk back.
No.
But,
No, they ain't bringing Kirk back. They ain't
but
bringing him.
it's
I don't
like
know with the way
if he didn't have
Dobbs
that
is playing.
if he didn't have that money on the books, I would say no.
You
Or if
still
they're
can
gonna
bring
bring him
Dobbs
back,
back.
bring him back to trade him.
Bring him back with no guaranteed money and waive his no trade clause. You do not, if the Vikings bring him back, do not give him a no trade and do not give him a lot of upfront money.
Like
Do
I
not.
would bring him back to trade him to get an asset.
Well, his leverage is completely gone now.
He has no leverage now. It's in the
nobody gonna
Vikings
trade-
court.
Nobody gonna trade for his ass.
Yeah, you'd be surprised.
Atlanta
He got-
might.
Atlanta
They need a
might,
quarterback.
yeah.
Yeah. Atlanta feels they're a quarterback away.
Yeah, they were
Away-
all like, man. if
Away
only we
from
had
what?
Kirk.
Respect? Away from what? Respectability? What?
I don't know. If you listen to all the YouTube people
Yep.
for Atlanta, they think they're a quarterback away from being
They
a
think they
contender.
are Kirk away.
Yeah, they also need a damn coach.
Right.
They need a hell of a. They got a defense, but they need a coach. Which I'm going to
They
tell you
got
right
weapons
now.
on offense.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you right now. If it comes down to it, you could see Flores interview for their head coaching job.
Well, they said that I can't remember who I was listening to. They said that Brian Flores may only get one chance to be another head coach, so he's not going to take just any job.
Here's the deal, but here's the thing, though. And this is where I call BS on the NFL. I'll bet you anything that idiot McDaniels gets another gig.
I hope
I
not,
don't know,
because he's already
right
had.
now the Belichick tree is like not looking so good. So if I were him, I'd probably hold off.
That Belichick tree is kind of rotten at the core.
What's it called? D'Amico is saving it right now, right? Wasn't he?
Oh, D'Amico's a real deal.
Yeah, but isn't D'Amico part of
Wasn't he part of the Belichick tree though? Did he play for Belichick?
No,
he got drafted.
He
got drafted by Houston.
Yeah, he was a Houston.
Okay.
He's Houston.
Well, Bill O'Brien is the Patriots tree. So
well, the rumor I heard, and somebody mentioned this on one of the channels I was listening to, Bob Kraft, if he's going to bring a coach into New England, he wants it to be Mike Vrabel.
I can see Vrabel leaving. I can see Vrabel leaving for the.
Yeah, he would buy out Vrabel's contract.
Yeah,
he would.
And they'll probably sign Kirk.
Who would sign Kirk?
Kirk would be perfect for Vrabel's offense.
He'd be perfect for New England, but Kirk won't go. He won't. He doesn't. He will not deal with the East Coast press.
Oh.
Yeah, because they're not going to be nice to him.
Yeah, I mean, he has it as easy as it doesn't get any easier than Midwest press.
Well, and it also helps too when you've got a PR machine like the Vikings who are constantly pushing out how great you are when you're average at best.
Yeah, like he could handle being the quarterback of like Tennessee, like Minnesota, teams like where they're not a huge media market and the media's not going to kill you. Like Chicago wouldn't work because Chicago kills their players. LA definitely wouldn't work.
Well, you know whose name came up in Chicago now, and it's come up a couple times. Harbaugh's name come up in Chicago again.
Well, I think he's done in Michigan, man. After with the Big Ten, no evidence of him doing anything. The Big Ten suspends him anyway. And I was telling Zoe, Tony, you can elaborate more on this. I was telling Zoe Saturday, the Vikings minority owner that hates.
Stapleton.
Yeah, hates Harbaugh, and that's probably he's the reason why Harbaugh is going through so much.
By the way, I talked to my connection. The Vikings are doing PR gymnastics out there to not let it get out that Stapleton did have something to do with it. They're trying to cover those tracks, but it's getting harder and harder to do.
Dirty dogs.
Especially since nobody knows why Stapleton hates Harbaugh as much as he does. To cost him two.
Did he take his wife from him or something?
I don't know. Sold him some bum weed. I don't know. It's hard to say.
Free Jim.
And I'm to the point now. I'm at this. I'm saying free Jim because he's getting
railroaded over here, man.
Yeah, he's getting railroaded.
They're gonna free him right to the NFL.
Yeah, right to the Bears.
Yeah, he could do what he want to do after he win the national championship. I don't care where you go.
Yeah. Yeah, he's probably good. Really? Is this Yogi?
Yeah,
really,
Yogi doing a draft in the background.
I thought that was you.
No. When Yogi's in here, he controls everything.
Who did he mock us to?
Man, probably that damn LSU quarterback.
Oh.
No, the defensive lineman from Illinois.
Yogi needs to go to mock drafting AA.
Yogi, can we at least get to the playoffs? Damn.
Right.
Damn, dude.
Yogi needs a mock intervention.
Yes.
God.
Yogi, we brought you in here today because we need to discuss.
We got 22 people in here. How many likes we got?
Don't know. I'm not hosting, so I don't know.
Man, people hit the like and subscribe to everybody channel right now. Run them views and subscribers up.
Yeah.
If you want that real uncut Viking talk.
And here's the thing: we can't even be too negative on the team. They've won 5 in a row, 6
Oh,
of
no,
the last 7.
Oh no, ain't no more negative shit. That shit, hey, that was 5 weeks ago.
Yeah.
That was
Oh yeah, y'all ass was blowing up the team. You was trading
Yeah.
everybody.
Trading JJ, trading Darasol, trading Cousins.
You know,
I don't think. I think Pace was the only one he was keeping.
Hey man, hey, it got to them boys. They started playing better.
yeah, something. And I'm going to give KOC credit. I can't believe I'm doing this. He's got this team playing together. It took them 4 games,
Yep.
but they're playing together. They're believing in him. They're kind of getting back to what they were last year.
They're playing
Yeah.
like as a team and as a group now, not individual talents.
Right. But they've got KOC's got to win by more than than 10 points. He just gotta.
What up, Sodak?
Do you
what's
think he
up,
should
Sodak?
get Coach of the Year if we make it to the playoffs?
Unfortunately, I think
Oh,
Dan
you got-
Campbell's going to get Coach of the Year.
Campbell's going to get it because everybody loves Dan Campbell.
I think what's his name might get it though.
Hmm?
What's his name? Houston coach.
I think the top
D'Amico.
the top
Yeah.
3 vote getters for the Coach of the Year are going to be KOC, Ryans, and
Campbell.
Yeah, but
Campbell.
like
And
to me,
Campbell's
I think
probably
it's
going to win.
bullshit because the Lions already have a stacked team. So what did
Yeah, but the
Campbell
Lions
really do?
always end up doing Lions.
The
things.
Lions always do Lions things.
you
And
know
if he-
because like I think it's a lot harder because KOC had to bring the team back from 0 and 3 to this point without having like his star quarterback or receiver. And if we do go on to like end up 10-7 or something, I think he deserves Coach of the Year more than Campbell.
Well, the one that should really get consideration is for any kind of Coach of the Year is Brian Flores for what he did with that
Well,
defense.
do they have a defensive Coach of the Year?
I think so
They should have an assistant Coach of the Year, and that would be Brian Flores.
Yeah.
because didn't Ben Johnson win like that last year, like
Mhm.
like assistant coach of the year or offensive coordinator or something like that.
Yeah, D. Will. It's a season award. It's not. It doesn't matter what you do with the postseason for Coach of the Year.
Yeah, and I mean
No.
Davo won it last year, and I didn't think he deserved it.
Well, the Vikings won him that
last
award.
year.
Dabo won it because he got that playoff game and he's in New York.
Yeah.
That's the only reason he got it. He's in a big TV market, a major market.
Well,
So,
that would kill Jim. That would kill Cousins if he went to Chicago because quarterbacks go there to die.
he'll die a quick death too behind that offensive line.
I don't care where Kirk ass go.
You just want him gone.
I don't care where you go.
I
Shit.
think I told you unless Dobbs makes an unbelievable run and takes them all the way. I think.
Well,
they
but
will.
here's the
He doing it right now, right in front of your eyes.
But here's the thing, though. Now,
I'm not saying from my point of view. I'm saying from the Wolves and the Vikings.
No, I'm
point
saying,
of view. Yeah.
like we can get Dobbs a 1-year deal for $15 million, man. He'd be happy.
Here's the thing, though. Dobbs right now is playing for a monster contract next year. So guess what? Somebody's going to overpay for him. And it probably won't. And the Vikings are so scared to pay for a quarterback after all the money that Kirk got out of him over the years. They're scared. So
You might want to Kirk Cousins back.
So
with that
if
damn
worse
Flores
comes
team.
to worse, you lose Dobbs.
We still have Hall.
And we still have Hall. That's another thing, too. We still have Hall. So, and KOC and Kwesi did draft Hall. So there's that possibility. But at the moment, Kirk has no leverage. No leverage. So he should get no guaranteed money. He should get nothing. Nothing guaranteed.
Especially coming off of a injury that severe.
Yeah, we don't know how he's gonna heal or anything
and
like
he
that.
old too, man. Nobody want Kirk, man.
Oh, for God's sakes, Bob, we have Mannion. Oh God.
No, I mean,
can we cut Mannion now? I mean,
you really can't.
the game's
say
over.
that. You really can't say that, Zoe, because if the draft doesn't go the way the Falcons' way, they would rather have Cousins than the 2 QBs they have.
Yep.
But Kirk,
The Buccaneers would rather have Cousins than the QBs they have.
You know
But
what? Guess who would take a flyer on Dobbs? It would be the Falcons.
yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, it would
But
be
the Falcons tried to trade for Ryan Tannehill and Kyler Murray before the season started. They never once tried to trade for Kirk Cousins.
It's because the Vikings.
Kirk had no trade clause.
But you still can call about a player.
Yeah,
But why
but
would they
Kirk wasn't
inquire
waving.
They weren't gonna.
Kirk
Because
was not
people
going
knew
to
the
waive it.
Vikings.
Yeah,
People knew
especially
the Vikings
Kirk
were going
was
to trade him.
coming off of a 13-4 season. They
Yeah.
know Kirk isn't gonna go anywhere.
Yeah, Kirk was not going to waive that no trade clause. He was
Because
not.
I mean, I would not trade for Tannehill. Like when that name pop up for us, I'm like, hell no. I'd rather like roll with Hall than Tannehill. Good God.
Yeah, and that's probably biting the Titans in the ass because they had Dobbs last year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They drafted Will Levis this year.
Shit, I know Pittsburgh kicking the fucking air right now. They drafted his ass.
They drafted Dobbs. They drafted him.
I think
Do you think they
Dobbs looks good because of the talent that's surrounding him. Because look at the other teams that he was with; they didn't have talent, so he looked like ass.
So you're saying Dobbs would rather have Pickett? I mean, Steelers would rather have Dobbs than Pickett?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I'm starting to see
Pickett
that.
is trash. You
Pickett
like
is not good. He's not.
Pickett is trash. They got some receivers in Pittsburgh. They ain't got no quarterback.
Or offensive coordinator.
Oh, that guy. Yeah, they're
That
trying to run
quarterback
him.
was
No, this
horrible.
is definitely by far and away the most talent that Dobbs has played with, and it's going to get even better next week, more than likely when Justin comes back.
Well, we're probably going to have KJ Osborne back too.
Yay.
So you'll have KJ back. I just give somebody else the
I don't
carries
think
that
we
you
need
would give Madison.
I don't think we need KJ. I think Brandon Powell is, good enough.
Yeah,
But-
and I mean Naylor looked good today. Even
Who?
with his just one catch, he looked fast.
Yeah, was that was Naylor, wasn't it?
83, yeah.
Oh my God. I saw that and I'm like, is that Naylor?
Yeah.
Shit.
And I think the good thing about it is because Dobbs doesn't have like this history with these receivers. So, because you know how like Kirk will go to like KJ more because Kirk.
He's locked in. He gets locked into a
where
one receiver.
Dobbs is more like I'm just gonna throw it to whoever is open.
He'll start forcing the ball into JJ. Cousins would do that. So,
Man, you ain't gonna mess up my night with Kirk telling me he coming back. Anyway, what about that Broncos game?
I mean,
Shit, you ain't gonna mess my mood up. D Money, what's going on?
What's up?
Happening.
I'll be back in a second. I need something to drink.
Hey man, whoever said Kirk Cousins, we might resign Kirk Cousins. Stop saying that and putting that in the universe. Stop.
It's out there because it's real. It's out there
not
because it's
real,
real.
man. We not
I
about
don't
to do
want it. I'm gonna tell you right now, I don't want it.
Nightmares.
But here's the thing: he's on the hook next year for damn near 28 mil
I don't
in
care
dead
about none of that,
dead
man.
cap money. So it's out there. But personally, I would have moved on from him a long time ago. Actually, I wouldn't have signed him.
You
Yeah,
know,
that
me
like,
way.
neither.
I get
You know-
so much shit from Lions fans, like, "Oh, you guys are like so ungrateful. We would love Kirk here. You guys are so ungrateful. Like Kirk has done so good for you guys." I'm just like,
Shit, they
If
got a
this is
Kirk
to, like,
Cousins.
They got Kirk Cousins. They got Goff.
Yeah, Goff, they the same
you
people.
can say that when
Yeah.
you're the outsider looking in. You're not the one who has to like go through and watch Kirk choke year after
The Lions
year after
happy.
year.
The Lions are just happy they're actually okay again. That they're just happy about that. Let them be happy.
They're happy. They're relevant.
Yeah.
They're just happy to be relevant and in the conversation for a playoff picture, which they don't talk about like every 10 years. It's like an eclipse.
I bet
know.
you like how Campbell is so aggressive with his fourth downs. I bet you like he's gonna be too aggressive in one of these upcoming important games that's gonna cost him.
He's gonna
games.
do.
My boy
He's gonna
D.
do
Dawson in
lion
the building.
things. He's gonna do
Why-
lion things.
Why does our fan base love Kirk so much? Like
They're not their fan base.
it's getting like
You know what it is? It's
It's
like
all-
it's like tribal. It's almost like if you don't like Kirk Cousins, you're not a Viking fan.
Yeah.
I mean, I had people that are such staunch Cousins supporters. One guy said, guess what? I hope this team goes 0-9 without Kirk, so everybody can see how great a quarterback Kirk Cousins was.
Yeah,
I mean, they've got Kirk Cousins better than Fran Tarkenton.
Well, to me, that's
Oh.
not a Vikings fan though, because it's like if you're a Vikings fan, who gives a fuck who's playing center as long as we're winning?
But it's that's
You know?
the whole thing. Kirk is polarizing since he's got here. He's polarizing,
Well,
and for this generation. This is the first time that many have seen the Vikings with some sort of stability at quarterback, and a quarterback who puts up these numbers that, they're garbage numbers, but he puts them up and they can say, well, look at my quarterback. He's in the top, whatever.
oh yeah, I mean, like I see this feeling about how he, if he hadn't gotten injured, he would have been MVP. I'm like, what?
No, he'd have had a Kirk game, and he would have did some Kirk shit, and we probably would be like struggling to make the playoffs.
Did you see the electricity that was in the building today, and the swagger that was in the building with Dobbs today? We could have a young quarterback that could bring that type of element to our team. Kirk doesn't do that.
Kirk doesn't do that.
Kirk don't do shit for the team, man. Quit speaking on Kirk.
But here's the thing with Kirk.
Kirk talk.
But here's the thing. The whole thing with Kirk is, and
for life. No, I'm just kidding.
I've never seen a fan base make more excuses for a player in my life. They've got every sort of excuse and that starts at the top because the Vikings are doing the same thing with the radio station that carries the Vikings, the local press. You cannot rip on Kirk. He's a great family guy.
That's what it is.
He's Mr. Minivan. He doesn't want to leave Minnesota. It's like, I don't, you know what? I want him to leave Minnesota. Get the fuck out.
He's not going to have a love boat incident.
Give him money. We keep giving him money. I'm sure he doesn't want to leave.
And that's the biggest. See, here's the thing. Kirk knows damn well he's not going to get that type of money anywhere else. Nobody's going to pay him no guaranteed money.
No.
So the Wilfs are stupid for that, but they know the Wilfs are going to do it. Right. This is why he's lost all bargaining when it comes to next year. And this is where the Wilfs need to let whoever's going to call the shots. If, like what Mark Wilf said, he's going to leave the decision to re-sign Kirk to Kwesi.
Oh, Kwesi's going to do it. Kwesi, my guy. I know he don't go for that.
Kwesi right, kind of get him.
So here's the deal. If you're leaving it to Kwesi, leave it to Kwesi, because Kwesi and KOC want to move on. Especially after watching especially KOC, seeing what his offense can do with a mobile quarterback.
Oh yeah,
he's not going back to He's not going back to the friggin' statue known as Kirk Cousins.
Well, this
is what I'm saying.
This is what I've been hearing from some of the fans today. I think I've heard like on my timeline something real crazy. They said, "Man, we should sign them both, and then Kirk could be like a mentor to Dobbs." And
how you gonna be a mentor to Dobbs?
Cousins is not going to come back as
First of all, Cousins is a kind of a dumb motherfucker. He can't mentor nobody. Second of all, Dobbs is a goddamn rocket scientist. What the fuck you gonna do?
Right.
Dobbs is
what the hell?
Right, bro.
That don't make no sense.
See, this is the thing. Kirk has been coddled since he got here. He's been coddled ever since he signed here. He's already cost us a GM and a coach.
Man, quiet as kept. Dobbs might be better than Kirk overall. Kirk was a backup quarterback at one point of time.
Yeah, and if RG3 doesn't get hurt, he stays a backup quarterback.
Exactly. So shit, let's not forget that, people.
Yeah.
One more thing.
He won no first round pick now in the NFL draft.
With Madison, right? Is it because Madison pass blocks? Is that why we still continue?
He's not. You know what? Madison ain't the best pass blocker either. I seen him get trucked a few times. He did
have a good block today. But
he did have a good block today.
But
okay, and what game is this? What game number is this? And he finally gets a good block.
That doesn't mean that he should be on the field the whole time.
Okay, you know what? Stop with the excuses. He shouldn't be on the damn field.
Madison got some shit on Kwesi and KOC. That's why.
You know, and that's why I brought this up to somebody. Could there be somebody in the front office in KOC or somebody's ear telling them to play Madison because they're paying Madison and they're paying Madison money that they probably should have gave to Cook?
I don't know if I want to give it to Cook though, considering his situation and
Cook left. Cook
Well,
left too because Cook didn't get along with KLC because
But
But
KLC.
I'm glad we
mean,
didn't sign Cook
put him-
though. I
But
mean,
look at the Jets. The Jets are struggling right now, and
I'm looking at them. They're right on my TV. I can't
So-
watch this game. That's how bad it is.
Brees Hall can still run. Like Brees Hall still gets moving when he gets out there, though. When Cook gets out there, there's no motion.
No.
But Cook don't get the ball like that though.
yeah, I mean he's gonna need to be like
Yeah.
the
You can't get no run back, no 3 and 2 carry and think he gonna shit.
Yeah,
You
he could have a
need-
Cook.
you need to
I
get
want
into a
more
rhythm.
carries.
Well,
That was
here's the thing too. KLC, and I've said this before. I sound like a broken record. KLC needs to stick with the run. He just cannot abandon it as quick as he does. And if if Madison's not getting the yards, then put the other guys out there. They can play. Have you also noticed, you guys, especially you, Curtis? We don't have pulling guards anymore. We don't have anybody to pull.
The tackles pull. And the tight ends pull.
I tell you what, the O-line wasn't good today.
That's
No, yeah.
They
The
should
offensive
probably
line
they
got
should
their ass
probably
kicked
work.
today.
They should probably work the old school pulling guards.
The
You
O-line
know?
got their ass beat today.
Steven
They-
Reisner got his ass kicked today.
Yeah, them boy probably tired, man. We ain't getting no bye week yet, so
Well, but here's the thing, though, too. When you had the momentum that you did, I mean, put it this way, you know this. If you're an offensive lineman, you work better going forward than backwards. And every time you pass, you got to set up and pass block.
Yeah, that's-
which is
yeah, that's cool.
backwards.
that's easier said then. But when you blocking, you got your running back running directly to the back of your ass. You like, damn, bro, you gonna break my back.
I got a question though. Let's talk about the Ty Chandler touchdown.
Okay.
How come nothing like that was ever called when Kirk is the quarterback?
Oh, you mean where they sprinted out like that?
Why
That play was for Cam Akers. That was a Cam
So-
Akers play.
But what I'm saying, why wait until Cousins leaves before you get more imaginative with the offense?
Because they didn't expect it to go to Chandler. That's the
Cousins
type.
in the game. You especially don't expect it to go to Chandler,
Well, no, it would have been Akers.
right? But what I'm saying, but you see what I'm saying though. Why not?
And they never ran it with
well
Akers.
that
That's the
play
whole
works
thing.
because Dobbs is mobile though.
Yeah,
so
but
he's
the point is,
decoy
though,
to-
the point is though, if
having the
Cousins is in the
ball.
game and Cousins doesn't get the snap, that's more unexpected than anything else. Because you expect Cousins to get the snap.
Oh,
That's my point. It has
Oh.
nothing to do with Josh Dobbs being mobile or anything like that. It's
Oh
just the
yeah, I
fact
see what
that-
you're talking about.
Yeah, it's
Well,
the
and
fact,
the fact that they even ran that play kind of shocked me.
right, and the fact that Cousins, you expect Cousins to get the snap when he's a quarterback, and they snap it to somebody else, the defense is
Yep.
going to be like, "Oh shit, what do I do?"
But that is
Yeah.
a Cam Akers play.
Right.
Which,
Yeah,
and
but-
once again I said he's getting too cute down at the goal line, which means he can't go
Yeah.
1-on-1 and pound the ball in. Which
I like
that's a
that
problem.
But
That's a
Kelsey
problem.
digging in that bag.
Where is Ham on the goal line?
He was out there then.
I don't
He
remember
was-
seeing him. But
I think he was spread wide, more into the tight end. But
Yeah, but when they run the ball in the goal line, bring the 3 tight ends in, and put CJ Ham in the backfield and let him lead block. I don't understand why they don't use Ham more on the goal line.
because but you also got to realize where did KLC learn his play calling skills and his formation skill set?
So then
From-
why is Ham on the roster?
He learned it from McVay. He wants to be McVay.
So then why is Ham on the roster?
I think it has to do with the fact that he's a local guy. I think it's PR points.
If you're
And
not going to
veteran.
use him,
President.
And he's a veteran presence, but he's a Minnesota guy.
Oh,
There's
okay.
so much speed on this team that we weren't using before. I'm so glad that it's able to come out now.
And I think that's what happens when you have a mobile quarterback.
or they were relying
They do.
relying too much on Cousins to do everything. And now they realize they can't rely on the
And
quarterback.
they should not rely. I mean, Cousins is a hell of a quarterback. I give him that, but they can't rely on him.
No.
They can't rely on him. They should have knew that.
Yeah.
They should have knew that.
Especially giving your wide receivers a chance to make plays
Mhm.
when Kurt, you got to kind of like butt naked open.
Yeah. and that's another thing too. We don't. I mean, we saw for years how often not only is Kirk a statue, but he also hangs on to the ball too long.
Mm-hmm.
and he will sit in that pocket and then he'll take a sack,
Mm-hmm.
or he won't try to run.
Mm-hmm.
With Dobbs, it's completely different. With Dobbs, he's running all over the place. The last time I seen a quarterback run this much was Dante, just to be honest. And before him, it was Tarkenton. But now he keeps a play alive just in the pocket. He keeps, and defenses have to respect that. That's another thing.
Yep, that puts stress on their D-backs.
Yeah, and the Saints did have a spy. They did. I think it was, I forget who it was, but even he was kind of like not prepared for this.
Yeah, like Dobbs is pretty slippery to tackle. I noticed like there's been plays where they have him in their hands, and yet he slips out. So,
the only real hit that Dobbs took today, the real hit was when they blitzed, like they sent like 8 guys late in the game.
I think you're going to start seeing the most like comfortable Dobbs probably about 2 more games. I'm gonna say about 2 more games, and then you're going to start seeing a more comfortable Dobbs, especially like he's not really super comfortable within the playbook yet, obviously now. But once he starts getting like more comfortable in it, I think you're going to see a different part of his game. I think it's going this way.
Once we got the Broncos next week, and then we got the Bears, 2 very winnable games,
and then you have the bye week.
And then the bye week, and that's going to comes at a monster time. Just that whole week off, he can finally.
We need that.
Yep.
In a way, it's a good thing that we had our bye week so late.
Yeah, especially for the playoff push.
Because I mean, like, imagine if we had our bye week, week 5, and Kirk got hurt, and so then we don't have a bye week to like rest our players and to get the new quarterback all caught up and all that.
Right.
So
also, that's another week that he can learn more stuff and
yeah, exactly. And I'm gonna stress it. KLC has got to get that running game jump started somehow. That's going to help Dobbs even more, and it has to be somebody else carrying the ball besides Dobbs.
Well, Justin Jefferson on the field is going to help a lot.
People are saying that once Justin Jefferson gets on the field, that's going to open up that running game. People are saying that.
Yeah,
so
I think he opens up a lot because now you can't play man no more. Like he had him on the field.
I'm telling you, right? You know what? And this team is a luxury. They've got 2 wide receiver 1s.
Yeah,
starting.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Addison has proved he's a wide receiver 1.
Yeah.
He dropped the ball today. I was kind of like, really? Yeah. What the hell? But and the weapons that Dobbs has, and Hawkinson now, the earache is gone. He's fine. Now he's got ribs. It opens up that offense big time.
And Brandon Powell gives us that Jairus right, that dynamic.
Yeah.
Just open right when you need it to be. I don't know if we're going to see that Speedy Naylor that we be seeing in preseason.
In training? You mean that first week of training camp, and then next thing you know, he pulls something and he's out for the next 6 weeks?
Not gonna lie, it's getting real Chad Beebe-ish. I'm just saying. Hopefully we get to see something different. Hopefully we see, just like with Kene. I hope we see more of Kene, and hopefully he could just blow this offense wide open. So
you've got to start running those guys, and they're more outside guys, so they got speed to the corners. Chandler and Nwangu. Now, here's the thing. I think your inside runner might be McBride. I mean, KOC and Kwesi love McBride. Bring him up. See what he can do.
What's the biggest surprise on defense for you guys? Or what player is the biggest surprise on defense for you guys?
Well, for me, it's everybody, but Bynum has come. He's looking good. The whole DBs.
I wanted to trade Bynum.
Yeah, the DBs as a whole have really locked it down. They have.
And Hicks was surprisingly surprised.
Yeah, Hicks is, if he's not hurt.
I think it's the whole scheme.
Hey, Dylan knows
the scheme, yeah. Yeah, that's true.
Dylan said what? That's
Chad Beebe-ish.
Yeah, shout out to Dylan, man. That's my guy.
Actually, if you're gonna get, let's give credit where credit is due. Brian Flores took a bunch of average players and made them a damn top 15 defense.
Yeah.
That's a miracle right there.
Well, everybody was like, "Oh, our defense is gonna be even worse than last year because we got rid of all our skill players." And I was like, "No, we're gonna be better than last year's because
Kendrick's
we got younger
age
and faster."
Kendrick's aged himself out.
Kendrick's age was starting to show because look what he's doing. He hasn't done anything with the Chargers.
It's showing in LA with the Chargers.
Yeah,
it's showing.
Also, too, I mean, he somehow fixed Josh Metellus. I would have never thought that Metellus would be.
I'll tell you right now, Metellus is the reason Cine can't get on the field. Josh Metellus is the reason Lewis Cine cannot get on the field.
And where did Metellus go to school?
The cheating school.
Where did he go to school?
The
Metellus?
cheating school.
Sarah
Metellus went to Michigan, man.
Cheating school, according to Sarah.
He's a Michigan dude, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I mean, Metellus. They got Metellus all over the field, and Metellus is actually playing that position, that type of position that Cine was supposed to play.
Okay, let's. Okay, what about Wanham?
Want to play for a contract? Let's just put that out there. He's playing for a contract. Don't know who was going. Somebody's going to take a chance and pay him. I hope he comes back because he fits this scheme.
Yeah, he does.
He fits this scheme.
There's still another level that I feel like Wanham needs to really hit for me to really kind of be like be sold on him.
He's got to play the run better.
Yeah,
he doesn't. He's got to play the run better.
Well, he's not Danielle Hunter. He's not as good as Danielle Hunter ever will.
Well, no. That's not what I'm talking about. But
there's like players that are good, and then there's Danielle.
Yeah.
Which really pisses me off because you know what? All this defensive player of the year stuff that they're talking like.
Danielle's not even in the discussion.
Yeah, I'm like, that is just so like freaking insulting.
Well, can they get off of TJ Watt's nuts for a little bit and come up for air and take a look at what he's doing? Jeez. He's actually putting up better numbers.
Sacks, right?
Huh?
He leads the NFL in sacks.
I think Watt's got a sack today, so I think he's tied.
Oh, so they're
but
still
then
tied?
He leads the NFL in sacks, and I think in is it tackles for loss or forced fumbles? It's one of those two.
He's got tackle for losses. He's got like 14, 15.
No, Yogi, that's a bad picture, Yogi.
But yeah, Hunter's not getting any kind of respect.
Yeah,
he's not getting none. Matter of fact, the ones they've got ahead of him are
Max Crosby.
Yeah, Max Crosby.
And they're like, well, Max is by himself. I'm like, so is Danielle. Who else is there with Danielle? Danielle's the only one there.
Well, Wanham has got 6 sacks, I think.
He's got 5.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, but that's
like,
because
honestly, I miss
double and
guys
triple
like,
teamed.
I really do miss guys like Everson Griffin, dog. Like this, like, oh man. That's one of the few guys I wish that, I understand his situation, everything he had going on with him, but seeing like I like Wanham, but I really do miss Everson Griffin though.
I miss it. You miss that pressure off the edge. I miss Everson too. The way it ended for Everson, I didn't like.
I miss the leadership as well.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I didn't like the way it ended for Everson.
But I mean, hey, Danielle, I think Danielle's definitely has stepped out of shell, especially for this year. Like,
well, Danielle now is a vocal point he's a vocal point when it comes to who offense is schemed for.
Mm-hmm.
They feel they have to neutralize Danielle.
He doesn't get credit because he's not a loud, showboat person who talks shit. He's quiet, does his thing, and that's it.
And the man is getting double and triple teamed on damn near every play.
Well, yeah, you don't see him talking all the smack he's not flashy. He's just a quiet dude.
So let me play devil's advocate for a second.
If you look at Danielle, ain't nobody saying too much to him either.
For just going back to Hunter, maybe the fact that we know this is what Daniil Hunter plays like when he's healthy. We know that he is a top guy, so maybe that's why they're like, he's healthy again. This is what we expect. That's the only thing I can think of, and the fact that he plays for Minnesota. That's the only two things I can think of.
Now
But I mean, TJ
Now-
Watt
and-
was injured last year too. Nick Bosa's numbers aren't even like Daniil's, and they're
and that, you know what? And I'll tell you what, that's another.
Shut him down.
The NFL are dick riders when it comes to Bosa
Mhm.
and TJ Watt, just a Watt in general. It's like, just stop. I mean, my God, it's really it's bad, the dick riding. But yeah, they disrespect Daniil because he is a Viking. You know?
I've never seen such like to me it's like, I don't care what team you play for. If you're good, you're good. You know.
Well, and now the one they're dick riding is Aiden Hutchinson.
Yep.
I mean, I've watched some Lion games. Hutchinson's been invisible in a few of them.
I can't wait till we play. I can't wait till we play.
All those players
I
have one
can't
thing in
wait.
common.
I wasn't gonna bring that up. But you're right.
I'm just saying.
I wasn't gonna bring that up, but you're right.
As a white guy, I can say that.
Yeah. But I mean, it's
You
obvious.
said it, not us.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, that's the only thing I can think of.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is. You know. But yeah, I mean, and here's the thing. Detroit, this is why I tell people Detroit don't scare me.
Not after today.
No. They don't scare me. There's nothing scary about the Lions. Nothing. They're gonna be the Lions.
Well, their coach is going to cost because they went for it today on 4th and 3. What if they didn't get that? What if they didn't get that 4th down conversion? The game was tied.
Can I be controversial and say something? Fuck Dan Campbell. He ain't that good.
Yeah, I mean,
Fuck that overhyped meatball motherfucker. He ain't that good.
You better watch Tony. He's gonna come.
I wish he would show up.
He's
Beat
gonna-
his ass.
He's gonna break your kneecaps and
Oh, fuck him. Fuck him.
He's gonna bite your kneecaps off.
I mean, the Fox announcers were going, "Oh, this Lions team, they're Super Bowl contenders." I said,
Yeah, you know what? Fuck Fox too.
They gave up 38 points.
Right?
Yeah, that was
What
wild.
did we give up to the Chargers?
All I got to say about them is 1991. Can they win a playoff game first? Can they do that first?
No, this is the Lions.
You know, we're like the only team that has the longest winning streak now, because then the Jaguars got knocked off. But they hate us so much that they just treat us as like another team.
Well, the Jaguars were the media darlings too, and after what happened to them today, they're not gonna ride their what's that long. But they'll be back on the Niners.
But they'll still be in the top 10. But they're for us, it's like we're chopped liver. I
We
swear.
weren't favored at home. That's how much we're hated.
Yeah.
So the Vikings have only given up 30 points once.
That was to the Chargers, I believe.
No, it was to the Eagles. They allowed 34 to the
34.
Eagles.
What did the Chargers score?
28.
28. It was 28-24 against the Chargers. And they allowed 27 to the Chiefs.
Yeah,
So they
and
also-
you know what I don't hear this year with all those Philly close games? I don't hear nothing about point differential.
Yeah, because Philly's actually winning, but they're giving up a lot of points.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't hear nothing about point differential this year.
Which, you know what, comes in handy. Then you can kind of chalk this up as to why Dallas is probably running up the score. If it comes down to where they're tied at the end of the year, that whole point differential is going to be, oh God, is going to be one of the things. It's going to be a coming factor. So,
Oh man.
yeah, I'm sick of hearing about the Lions. I just overhyped motherfuckers. I'm sick of them.
I can't wait to play them. Like, I'm so serious.
Here's the deal. At the end of the year, the Lions got us, the Cowboys, and then us again.
Yeah. That's their season right there.
Yeah, that's their season. And
So
they ain't beating. They're not beating.
off.
They're not beating the Cowboys.
You know how they went for fourth down in that Kansas game, and the only reason because then they failed that fourth down in Kansas, just couldn't catch the fucking ball, and so that's why they lost. I mean,
Yeah,
that's
the Chief and Kelsey didn't play.
yeah, because Campbell messed up on that call he went for it on fourth and something, and it was like under 2 minutes, I think,
Yeah.
and whatnot. And so, like I said, he's a meathead. He's too aggressive, and he's gonna go on, go on it on a play that's gonna cost them. I mean, that's what he did last year against us. He went for it on a play that cost them the game.
Yeah.
So Baltimore right now has the best point differential. They're plus 113. Then it's the 49ers. Then it's the Cowboys, the Bills.
Man, they beat the fuck out the Jags today.
The Dolphins.
What's our point differential?
Right now we are. Right now the Vikings are plus 24. That was coming into today.
OMG, we're
Which
not
was
negative.
Yeah, no kidding.
Which was ahead of the Saints, the Jaguars, the Bucks, the Seahawks, the Colts, the Bengals, the Steelers, the Falcons.
The Jags ain't shit.
The Falcons are negative.
Yeah.
Today, the Falcons were negative 28. The Bengals are negative 10.
OMG, you
And the
shit me
Eagles
not.
the Eagles are only plus 50.
Well, and the Broncos are going to be negative because they gave up that 70 earlier in
Yeah.
the year.
Yeah, but I mean, isn't it funny how this year nobody is talking about point differential, but last year, because we were winning all those one-score games, it was so terrible.
The last team they show on here is the Raiders at negative 37. The bottom 8 teams are locked. So the Giants are the worst team.
The Raiders are negative 37.
Yep.
And they're going to be playing 500 ball.
What are the Jets?
The Jets.
A joke. A joke.
Negative 24. What's the score right now?
16-12 with 5 seconds left.
Raiders.
I might get out of here, man. I'll see y'all next weekend.
So the
all right, Zoe.
All right.
So the Raiders are going to win.
Raiders are going to win.
If I were the defense on the Jets, I would be so pissed at the GM because it's like you have this top-notch defense, and when the quarterback went down, you didn't do anything to bring in a guy that can move the ball.
You know what? They should have traded for Dobbs.
That's because
that was that was shameful that they didn't bring anybody in. I mean, good God.
They went the MILF hunter.
Yeah, and that's management because they drafted him. So that's where they're kind of forcing him down everybody's throat. But look, he's not a good quarterback.
Any second that locker room is gonna, blow up, and I got my popcorn ready for that because I would be pissed as hell if I was the defense. You're giving them opportunity after opportunity, and this mofo was drafted second, so he's gonna have to kill your season, and they won't do anything about it.
And they lost their best lineman too. Vera Tucker is out for the year.
And Frozen, they're only plus 10. You take away that Broncos game, they're plus 10.
Who? The Dolphins?
The
Dolphins, yeah.
So we have a better point differential than the Dolphins.
If you take away that 70-20.
Oh,
win,
yeah. But see, the Dolphins, though, they haven't beaten anybody with a winning record.
No, you couldn't even say that about the Vikings last year when they had a negative point differential. Because the Vikings beat teams with winning records,
Yeah.
Yeah, no one cares about point differential unless they want to talk about a narrative.
Nobody cares about point differential unless you're from the
Vikings. Unless you're looking for another way to get into the playoffs.
Well, because the Bengals are right now they're negative 10.
Yeah, but they supposedly are a top Super Bowl contender, but
Seattle's negative 1.
I'll tell you what, I think Baltimore wins that division. If
Cleveland kind of hurt them today,
if Cincy gets in the playoffs, they probably get in 7th seed.
What I want to know is how the hell are the Steelers winning?
All that talk about the Lions, They're only plus 38.
Yeah, and like we said, we're still waiting for the Lions to do Lion things.
Oh yeah, that's because they got blown out by Baltimore.
Well,
Oh yeah, they didn't show
Pittsburgh's
up for
good
that one.
because their head coach. Their head coach is good.
Yeah,
Who's
but their offense sucks.
Who's that?
Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? They're going to be looking for an offensive coordinator too. Tomlin will always have that team ready to play, but between the offensive coordinator and Pickett and Najee Harris isn't getting the yards like they used to on the ground. That's another thing too. Steelers ain't running the ball like they used to for years.
That's their staple too.
Yeah, and that's their
Yogi,
staple.
I'm using StatMuse. I don't know if the ESPN has different stats, but according to StatMuse, those are the stats I was reading.
So right now, Cleveland and Houston and Pittsburgh. And
that's kind of funny.
Since he's on the outside looking in, so is
I
Buffalo.
think the Texans might win the South.
I hope they do.
If Texans win the South, then Ryans is definitely coach of the year.
How many games are they behind the Jags?
One.
Oh.
Yeah. Jags are 6-3. Texans are 5-4.
And technically, Minnesota's a game and a half behind the Lions because they played more games.
Yeah.
But they're not even 2 full games behind the Lions.
Yeah. Saints
So
are still.
if it comes down to like, say we split and we're both 11-6, then who gets the tiebreaker?
If it's Minnesota and Detroit,
it depends.
Depends on the divisional record.
Oh,
and first head to head.
Yeah,
and then division. I think it's divisional record, then head
so
to head.
if the Vikings and Lions split, and let's say they each have the same record, they each only have one loss in the division. Then it goes to common opponents, and they may have the advantage because they beat the Chiefs and the Chargers, where the Vikings didn't.
No, it'll go by NFC record. The NFC record.
I thought it was common opponents.
No, it's conference. I think
it's conference. It's
well,
conference.
So the Vikings only have 2 losses against NFC teams.
And who did the Lions lose to? Baltimore.
Baltimore.
Both their losses are to non-conference.
Oh, they are. Yeah.
Yeah. So they might. So basically, the NFL will find a way to screw the Vikings and give it to the Lions.
Oh, we did the coin flip, but the coin flip came up for the Lions every time.
That's why I you know what? I wouldn't put it past them. Would not put it past
and
them.
I mean, like, my point is, you know what? They've sucked so long that, I mean, they draft top 10 practically every year. How do you not have a top team?
Yeah, but you know what? When you make the decisions they do at the head coaching job, like with Matt Patricia, that they believe all the hype. And here's the thing with a lot of those Belichick guys, once they leave Belichick, they suck.
They made a mistake by firing Caldwell.
Yeah, they should never fire Caldwell. They should never. Well, put it this way: Lions should never fire Caldwell. Bears should never have got rid of Lovey. They should never have got rid of Lovey.
And previous to that, the Lions should have never got rid of Wayne Fontes.
Exactly.
The Lions don't understand that when you have a coach that gives you multiple winning seasons in a row, and your all history, that's a good head coach. Mm-hmm. They don't understand that point.
They just don't.
Yeah.
Well, and I mean, I want to see how good they're going to be next year once they lose their offensive coordinator, because it looks more like their offensive coordinator is the one that's running the team, not Campbell.
Well, and here's another thing too. With success, teams are going to be looking at players to poach.
Yep.
So they're going to lose. They're going to lose some players next year. They are, and they're going to be in the same boat as the Vikings. They're going to need a quarterback. They are going to need a quarterback.
Well, I was watching the Chargers-Lions game, and it was fourth quarter was almost over. Mm-hmm. And the announcer sat there and said, there still has not been a sack in this game.
Which game was that?
The Chargers-Lions.
Still no sacks.
Yeah, their fourth quarter was almost over, and they said neither team has a sack yet. So if you don't pressure Goff, he's a good quarterback when he doesn't get pressured.
Mm-hmm.
So, but when he gets pressured, he's not very good.
Yeah, he's. I don't know. Detroit is Detroit, but
I don't know what Yogi's doing here, but
he's looking at. I don't even want to look at mine
because
I lost.
I
Yeah,
didn't
you
make
know
it-
what, Yogi? Forget you.
I didn't make
Oh yes, thanks Curtis for leaving 12.
I didn't make any changes. I forgot.
Yeah,
But
I
you
forgot
still-
the Dolphins
you
were
still
on bye,
barely-
so I'm like, oh crap, I'm gonna lose
You
towards
still
Yeah,
barely
you-
beat me.
yeah. Rub it in a little more there, Yogi.
You
right
still
in the
barely
chat.
beat me though, Sarah. Was it 116, 115?
I know, that's why I said thank God. Oh wait, no, you still have a player tomorrow though. Shit.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's it.
my defense is playing against you tomorrow.
But yeah, Cousins was my quarterback, so I only have 2 quarterbacks now. So
I am on this thing where I'm just putting in whichever quarter that's hot. I mean, quarterback that's hot. I don't even have like a quarterback I use every week.
Well, the one I use every week is Hurts, but he's got a bye.
Well, I use Herbert every week.
Yeah, he's got a bye.
Herbert got me a lot of points today.
Yeah, Carr effed me up good.
Why'd you start Carr?
Because then the other quarterback I had was on bye, so that I had to drop him.
Who was on bye?
I can't remember, but because then you can only carry 3 quarterbacks, and so Fields is like sitting on my bench.
I
And
tried
then-
to put Kirk on IR, but it wouldn't let me.
Yeah, I have A-Chain on IR, and so like Fields is on my bench, and so then the other quarterback I was using was on bye, and so then I had to drop him and put Carr in and whatnot. But yeah, because Howell did good for me.
Well, I think Yogi picked up Dobbs.
He did.
Yeah.
He did. He played him today.
I
Yep,
have Dobbs on my other league, but then I played Dak. So
Well, Dak had a good day.
Dak had a good
yeah,
day.
the only
though.
time I like Dak is during in fantasy.
Especially in a league where picks don't count.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
So,
that's why like for our league there, that's why we like can score up to like 400 points sometimes, because then
You
we have
think
to
the-
draft like defensive players too and whatnot. And
Well, I
It's
actually
crazy.
won a fantasy league one year where we had to pick a defensive player, and I picked Luke Kuechly, and he won the defensive player of the year that year. Do you think the altitude is going to affect Dobbs?
no,
I think the one it will affect is probably Hawkinson with the ribs.
he's a astronaut. He has to go out into space. When he like
He's
know
actually
how
kind
to
of
like
he's kind of trained for it.
yeah.
He's aeronautics type of thing, so he's kind of trained. It could. I don't know if it will, but in Dobbs isn't a problem. It's the other guys like Hawkinson. He's got that rib injury that could affect him. Other players that aren't used to playing in that high altitude,
Like the
yeah.
rookies.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well,
They
Jackson did good
Madison
today.
went to Boise State, so that's not going to be.
Now watch. He goes to Denver and actually hits the holes.
Maybe you never know.
Yeah, he might actually hit the holes.
But he's
So-
used to playing up high, going to Boise State, so altitude shouldn't be a problem for him.
Maybe he should play high. He might do better.
Maybe he
Hey,
might
hey,
start
Marshawn
seeing the
Lynch.
holes if he's high.
Mm-hmm.
Marshawn Lynch was able to play high.
Yeah, I mean, you're just a running back.
Yeah, no one cares.
Yeah, you're just a running back. So
Well, and when you're high, I think you can do anything. So you're gonna have that like extra.
well, maybe it'll make him think he can actually run through a hole instead of running up somebody's
When you're
ass.
high, you're like that.
Yeah. When he's like, maybe he get to, I could run this dude over. It's like, well, then do it.
Here's the thing: do you think Carr is done?
No,
I don't think he's done, but I wouldn't be shocked if the Saints move on from him. I think he only signed a 1-year deal, didn't he?
no. I think as long as they have Dennis Allen as their coach, then they're gonna keep Carr.
And Allen's lucky that he plays in such a bad
South.
division like the
Yeah.
South. He's lucky. Or else they'd be trying to run him out of town like the Falcon fans want Arthur Smith out of Atlanta. But yeah, Allen probably should not be an NFL head coach either. He's probably run his course.
He's a defensive coach, right?
Yeah, he was a defense coordinator for
he was Peyton's defensive coordinator.
Yep.
They just moved him up.
Well, I mean, if they get rid of him, he can always go up to Denver to coach.
Yeah, the
defense.
So hey Yogi, bring up the schedule real quick. Oh, he's not in here no more.
Because our game with the Packers is at US Bank, right?
Yeah, that's a home game.
Yep.
I got the schedule right here, Curtis.
So we got Denver, then we got Chicago, then we have the bye, and then we have the Raiders.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Raiders, we had the Bengals, correct?
Yep.
And then after the Bengals, we got the Lions.
Packers, Lions.
But you know what's different about our team this year? We haven't had that hangover after a big win like we did last year. Because this year, like after the San Francisco, we still won. After last week, we still won. We're not having that hangover.
Because last year, they had that big, huge win against Buffalo, and then they got their ass kicked against the Cowboys next week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they had another. I think they have an emotional win the week before they lost to the Lions as well. Last year.
Yeah, I think it was the Colts, wasn't it? No, the Colts was after.
The Colts was towards the end of the year. The Lions were early in the year.
No, the one they lost to the Lions was late in the year.
That was late in the year. Yeah.
Yeah, the one they lost to. I think it was the Colts game was before the Lions game.
I think was it the Jets?
We beat the Jets. We hung on and beat them. And that was Zach Wilson at quarterback, by the way. God, now I got to think back.
Okay. Yeah, when they lost to the Lions, it was the Jets game the week before.
Okay.
And then the Vikings beat the Giants the week after they beat.
Yeah, but that Lions game that we lost was kind of like because JJ did not step out. Remember, he got that touchdown called back because the ref claimed that he had stepped out, and so it got called back. But I mean, that affected the outcome of the game, I think.
Yeah. So. The Bears game's Monday night, correct?
Yep.
So the Vikings have back-to-back primetime games,
and we won't have that narrative of that we can't win on primetime because we have a different quarterback.
Well, they'll still find a way.
They'll still find a way to put that on us.
I think because they couldn't even do that if Kirk was our quarterback because of what he did against San Francisco.
Right.
So the Broncos, the Bears, Raiders, the Bengals, the Lions, Packers, Lions.
How many primetime games do we have left?
Two. They're back to back.
Yep.
They
more,
could flex.
The other two could be flexed.
They're gonna flex. They're gonna flex one of those Lions games.
The Bengals games could be flexed too. Because that one still says to be decided for the start time.
And that's the Saturday game, huh?
And yeah.
Is that a Saturday?
It's December 17th. No, it's a Sunday because they play December 10th. So the 17th. They don't play any Saturday games. It looks like everything's a week.
Oh.
Everything's on Sunday. Yeah.
Yeah, except for the Bears game, which is Monday.
Yeah. So I mean, there's no time for those games.
I mean, technically, we can go. We can just lose one more game.
But they're, you know what though, they're feeling it. I mean, this team right now, a 5-game winning streak, 6 out of 7, that gives you some confidence.
And I'd rather go into the playoffs on a hot streak than how we were, fizzling at the end of the year like last year. I don't want to do that.
And I'm going to be honest, I don't know if the Lions want to face a Viking team that is focused and winning.
With a chip on their shoulder.
With a chip on their shoulders.
The Lions' last 3 games were Vikings, Cowboys, Vikings.
Yeah, I don't think the Lions I don't know if the Lions could handle that. The Lions would be the ones making, they'd probably be the ones for sure running their mouths.
Yeah.
For sure.
Oh, they already started today when they were playing the Chargers.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, their arrogance is just is just obvious. And
Yeah, I mean, like they were calling themselves Kings of the North. I'm like, you can't be king if you haven't won the North. Okay, go win the North first.
yeah, get
Was
out
that
of. I mean,
was that the players actually saying that?
No. There's
the fan
fans.
base. The fan base is very much.
That's why the one guy that comes in here, he hasn't been here tonight, but Nug, he's like, I think he's been a Lions fan long enough to know not the.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. I always talk smack to him.
Yeah, I think he's smart enough to know that he's a Lions fan, and the Lions have a chance of lining anytime they can.
Yeah, you kind of want to go to a Lions fan that's all hyper and like say, "Settle down, Junior. You know
Yeah.
how this story ends."
That's why I tell them, winning division once every 30 years is a pretty good goal, I guess.
Well, should they win a division? We've had more eclipses and they won the division.
Yeah. The Buccaneers
he
have won
was
this.
talking smack to me. I told him, no, you guys deserve to come out of the basement once every 30 years.
Yeah. I mean, the Buccaneers have won the division more times than the Lions have in the last 30 years. They're not even in their division anymore.
Yeah, they're not in our division anymore. That's the sad part. They're not even in our division anymore. Well, you know what? Let them think that, because you can have your moment, but you still gotta line up on us. And if we're in it, if we're on a roll,
playoffs right now.
yeah, and if we're on a roll, and you got to come to our house first.
Well,
So-
and if you look at the schedule they've played versus ours. Okay, it's like all the teams they have played have been fairly easy, except for the Chargers, the Chiefs, and the Ravens. All their other opponents have not been difficult.
And you know what? They blew a 14-point lead to the Chargers today.
Yeah, they're up 14-0.
Yeah.
We've had to play all the top 4 teams who made it to the final for the Super Bowl. Well, except the Bengals, we haven't played them yet, but we've had a really hard schedule. So for us to come out with just 4 losses, I mean,
the Lions do have a NFC loss.
Who
they
did they
lost
lose
to the Seahawks?
Oh, that's right.
Oh, that's right. They lost to the Seahawks in overtime.
Yeah.
Yep, they lost to Seahawks in overtime.
The second week of the season.
Oh, wait. So, yeah, okay, yeah.
That's right. They lost to the Seahawks in overtime.
And then they got destroyed by the Ravens. So they play the Bears Sunday. And then they play the Packers. And then they play the Saints. And then they play the Bears again. And then they play the Broncos. And then it's Vikings, Lions, Vikings. I can see them.
Where are they playing the Broncos?
They're playing the Broncos in Detroit.
I'll tell you what, they could lose that game.
And they're playing the New Orleans at New Orleans.
Yeah, they could lose that game.
And of course they come to Minnesota first, then they go to Dallas, then they finish the season at home. So they got back-to-back road games. Before they play the finals game against the Vikings.
And all the games are dome games, except for they're all dome games.
Well, no, they play at Chicago.
Oh, except for that one. Yeah, but it's Chicago.
But it's Chicago.
It's Chicago and it's outdoors. And Soldier Field at this time of year isn't the best.
No, they're playing the week in Detroit. They're playing the week in Chicago that the Vikings are usually slated for.
Oh, that's a different scheduling thing.
Yeah, different. December 10th. Usually the Vikings play.
Yeah, usually the Vikings are playing then.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Or the last game of the season, the Vikings play in Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
But if Dallas plays against the Lions like they did today, the Lions aren't beating them. Hell, the Vikings aren't even beating Dallas if they play like they did today. Of course, they were playing the Giants, so.
Yeah, I mean, they were playing a team that had no offensive line, no quarterback, no weapons.
But see, that's what the Cowboys do that the Vikings don't. Is the Cowboys beat up inferior competition.
Yeah, but then the Cowboys can't beat good teams either.
But then they can't beat Philly.
Right.
They'll run up 49 and 52 on the damn Giants, but then they'll only score 20 points on the Eagles.
And they got their ass whooped by San Fran.
San Fran and the Cardinals kicked their ass.
Yeah, Josh Dobbs beat them.
Yeah.
Yeah, Josh Dobbs put on the highlight reel.
Wouldn't that be funny to see them in the playoffs And we have to play them again with Dobbs.
I would love to go if the Dallas and Minnesota play in the playoff games and it's in Dallas. I wouldn't mind going to that game and then walking out of there doing
I couldn't
bullshit
go.
like I did last time.
I couldn't go. I'd catch a case.
You know what irritates me though? Like Skip Bayless. Like every time he brings up like the Cowboys and Vikings, he still talks about like how Cooper Rush came into
Skip Bayless is a bitch.
Yeah, I'm just like, dude,
Yeah.
that's like 3 years ago. Like
He is such a Jerry Jones dick writer. It's embarrassing. It is embarrassing. And then when he got on Chris Carter's case, telling Chris Carter he didn't have that great of a career. He's told Shannon he didn't have that great. Really, dude? Better than you, goddammit. You've been riding friggin' Jones's dick ever since he got there.
Chris Carter and Shannon Sharp both had better careers than Michael Irvin.
Yeah. But not according to Skip Bayless because they didn't win a Super Bowl. You know, it's like only certain players win Super Bowls. Okay, certain teams win Super Bowls.
I mean, there's been 300 and what I say in Vikings history. There's been like 600 quarterbacks that played in the NFL, and only 60 of them ever appeared in the Super Bowl. Not to win it, but appeared.
Yeah, exactly. You know, but Skip is just he's just. If I live in Dallas, I'm like, I don't even know why anybody even listens to that moron. He's always been a Dallas dick writer, and he'll be.
I noticed somebody who's been very quiet this year is James Jones on NFL Network.
Yeah, he's not talking too much. He's not talking too much. None of those Packer announcers are.
No, because they're going back to what it was like, how we remember the Packers being shitty.
Yeah, none of them are. Matter of fact, even AJ Hawk isn't. I mean, and they get Aaron Rodgers on Pat McAfee's show, but he never talks about the Packers.
Yeah.
What I don't get is like they all had us at the bottom of the division this year. Like, oh, we're gonna be the bottom feeders, and I'm just kind of like, it didn't make sense to me. Like, how do you come up with that?
I had us, and I did not have us doing well because of the defense.
Yeah, but there's no way.
I figured the offense would be good, but I did not know the defense was going to be as good as it has been.
But there was no way that you can honestly say that the Bears, because people picked the Bears to win the division.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Bears were picked to win the division by many.
Yeah, I'm like,
how can you tell me that you cannot pick the Bears to win the division? I'm sorry.
But here's the thing. But here's the thing, though.
That big of a jump from 3 games to winning 12 games. That's like a.
But here's the thing, though. At the beginning of the year, the NFC North really isn't any better than the NFC South. It's really not. 7-10 would probably win the division on any given year.
Yep, but we have 2 teams with winning records versus the South. They have only.
They do. We do now.
There's no team above 500.
Right. We do now because we actually know
so we're
that
a step up. Okay.
Yeah. So we're like a step up. But at the beginning of the year, I mean, you looked at this team on paper. I mean, there was nothing that told me this team was going to rattle off another winning streak like they are and have the number 12 defense, or we lose Kirk Cousins and JJ and Darisaw for some time there and can't run the ball, and you're still in the playoff hunt. You can't make that up.
And they even separated themselves more today than what they were before.
Yeah, I mean, it's and even with KLC's questionable play calling, this team is still getting it done.
So I want to say I don't see a loss on the schedule, but I'm not willing to go that far. I think they will lose one. I don't know.
They're going to have one slip up.
Yeah.
Maybe 2.
Yeah, I mean, I see 2 the most.
So, yeah, maybe 2.
So right now that would put them at what, 12, and that would put them
12 and 5.
Yeah. Well, no, they have 4 losses.
No, they would be 11 and 6.
11 and 6
if they have 2. If they have 2, that's if they get it.
I don't think they lose to Chicago. So.
Yeah, especially when we're playing at home here, we don't have to deal with that cold.
I think Chicago's playing out the string.
And then Denver is, for somehow thinking in my mind, might be the one that they struggle with.
Well, and Denver is coming off of that huge win against the Chiefs, so they have like a little bit of confidence booster too.
Yeah, but which Russell Wilson is going to show up?
Yeah, but if they win tomorrow against the Bills, then we might have problems in Denver.
They're not beating Buffalo.
I don't know, man. Buffalo's
overrated. I'm just going to put that out there.
Yeah. Oh, they could be. They could be.
They did. You know what? And Buffalo, I guess, signed Linval Joseph.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wow.
You know what we should do is go pluck off Leonard Fournette from their practice squad.
He's not much better than. I mean, he's better than Madison, but
he's a lot older.
He's older.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Yeah, more wear and tear. Yeah.
Yeah, he's got some.
I thought he was like 25.
Melvin Gordon would be younger than.
No, I don't want Melvin Gordon.
But Melvin Gordon would be younger than Madison, but he fumbles the ball way too much.
Mm-hmm.
That's why he's not, because he has the talent to be a starter. That's why the reason why
he can't hang on to the ball.
Yeah,
he cannot hang on to the ball. I don't even. Is he even on anybody's roster?
Yeah, now? He's on somebody's practice squad. I can't remember who, but he's on somebody's practice squad.
How much money do you make
Gaskin's
as a practice
not good.
squad guy?
Practice squad is veterans minimum, I believe.
Yeah, they just need to bring up McBride. Let's see what he can do.
I would bring up McBride.
Have McBride run up the middle and have Chandler and Kwanwu do the outside runs. Although Kwanwu didn't really do much today.
No, he did get a set flag because Werner tried to take his head off.
Yeah,
grab the face mask. So
yeah.
He did that. I mean, could have broke his neck, but
yeah.
But other than that, yeah, he did do something. But
is this his first game back?
Nwangu?
Uh-huh.
No, he's been out there for a while. Nwangu's on kick return, but nobody kicks the ball to him anymore.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, because he's the biggest threat for kickoff returns right now.
Yeah, but
I should just get rid of it. I mean, if you're gonna have that stupid rule, there's no point in having a kickoff.
Well, if you're gonna do the kickoff, just do it, but do it kind of like what the USFL did or XFL or whoever it was, some kind of rule. You can't just get rid of it because not only that, here's what nobody really understands. You're taking away jobs from some players. You know,
that's why the NFLPA would never allow that to happen.
Yeah, the NFLPA will be like, before you get rid of the kickoff, tell you what, get rid of the artificial turf.
What they need to do is, I think it's the XFL where the players stand 5 yards apart from each other or 10 yards apart from each other, and they can't move to the ball's kicked.
Right. And then, and you could also, with the way the kickers are, move the ball back to the 30. It was at the 30 at one time.
Yeah.
They moved it back to the 30 to try to cut down on kickoffs. Well, then they moved it back to the 35 because all of a sudden the analytics nerds came in and they said the most violent play in football is a kick return.
Which makes no sense.
Makes no sense. And it's just like, it's one play, but it's part of the game. Yeah, there was some hits on kickoff. I played special teams, but as what they're trying to do is keep players on the field, because guess what? Injured players don't sell tickets in TV time, like with Kirk Cousins and Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, but neither does Jets versus Raiders, and they're on TV.
Well,
and they couldn't flex it. I don't think they could flex it. I really don't.
The primetime games have been crap this year.
Yeah, they have been crap, but like for us, we've been. I think because the two primetime games that we were in, we did well. And
yeah, we did.
We played well.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, the Eagles game and the 49ers game. So
it's
like that Bears and Panthers on Thursday. Oh God!
I just hope next year we don't play the Eagles in Philadelphia again.
Depending on where they fit in our division, it's a very good possibility.
Because, it depends. Because they're probably going to win the East. So if the Vikings,
if they win the East,
I don't think the Eagles is winning the East. Have you seen their schedule coming up? They've got a gauntlet, and the Cowboys have an easy schedule.
So what? We played the East last year.
Yeah, because they're playing.
And this year we're playing the South. So next year we play the West. and we'll play the second place team. I don't know where we'll play.
Yeah, I don't think the Eagles is going to win the division because they
Unless
have to play
they-
the Chiefs, the Cowboys. Again, they have to play the 49ers, the Bills, and I forgot who else. But they've got a hard schedule.
And they're not setting the world on fire. They're not running up the points like they did last year.
The Cowboys may end up winning the division.
You know,
I would hate for the Cowboys to get the number 1 seed. Oh my God, the ED would never show.
oh, we'll never hear the end of it. We'll never hear the end of it. I won't watch ESPN for a whole damn 2 months.
I don't watch
because of
ESPN.
Skip Bayless.
I watch ESPN.
I don't watch it. I'll watch the highlights, and I'll watch when Stephen A. rips on the Cowboys when they lose.
Yeah, I watch for like live sports, like college football or NBA. But other than that, I don't watch them.
I don't watch it at all. It's not what it used to be.
Oh,
It
no.
just sucks now.
It's just Disney bought them. They've gone downhill.
Yeah, it just sucks, and they're up for sale.
Yeah.
So, but all of them are. Fox's FSN is the same way. They all are.
You guys need to watch shows like this if you guys want real Viking talk, real NFL talk. So, but
and those shows, it's like if you're not a big market, they don't care about you. You have to be a big market, or you have to be the Chiefs for them to like.
They're catering to
the
East Coast and the West Coast, but
it's all definitely East Coast bias. So, so it was a great win, 5 in a row. I think we all think they're going to do. We all think they're going to make 7 in a row for the break.
Yep.
I do.
Right. So
I do. Yeah, I don't see a loss. Maybe Cincinnati.
Well, not if they played like they did today.
Well, what, Cincinnati? Yeah, that's true. Cincinnati is just one of those teams that's just like.
So we're saying they split with Detroit, right? That's pretty much the only loss.
Yep.
I'm saying they sweep Detroit.
So you don't see another loss then.
Mm-mm.
You're not predicting a loss, but
I'm not predicting another loss. I'm sure they'll have one slip up, but Detroit does not scare me. Detroit does not scare me, and they could probably run. They could run the table. They could, if they keep playing the way they are, they could run the table,
and that would put them at 13-4 again.
Yep.
And that gives them the 2 seed. You think, like last year?
Yeah, they'll have a home playoff game.
So, they could still have a chance to get to be the home because one of the wild card team gets to host a game too.
Right. Well, they would be 13-4, depending on what Philly does.
Philly and the Cowboys do.
Yeah, Philly and the Cowboys. So
that's the only other option is one of those 2 teams.
One of those 2, and I think they still have to play each other again
once more.
Yeah,
they still got to play each other once more. But yeah, I don't see us losing right now. Looking at this schedule, I don't see us losing. They'll have a hiccup, but they could run the table.
Or if they have a hiccup, is it big enough for them to actually lose the game? Because they kind of had a hiccup today, but they didn't lose.
They had a hiccup, and it didn't cost them.
Yeah.
The only hiccup, let's see, honestly.
And once again, a missed extra point or a missed field goal by Greg Joseph does not cost them the game. Right. I saw that stat again today too.
But did you do know that when he misses a field goal, the Vikings are like 11-0?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm like,
so just have him miss every kick.
Right. Just miss a kick, get it out of your system. We're gonna if he misses, you can be like, that's okay, we're gonna win. You shouldn't think that way.
But I think with him missing kicks, it pushes the team to like, okay, we gotta score that touchdown now.
Well, it would have been a much more comfortable win today if he would have made that kick.
Yeah.
But
it would have been a much more comfortable win if KOC had challenged that Dobbs run because they had momentum.
True. Yeah.
In that beginning of the third quarter, they were moving the ball again. And if he doesn't, he needed to challenge that run by Dobbs. It was a first down.
And that penalty by O'Neal really killed them.
And I saw the replay on that. I'm like, that's not holding.
No, he got decleated.
Yeah, that's not holding. It's like, really?
You can't challenge that though. Like who was the Colts owner, I think, wanted to we can challenge every penalty. And they voted it down.
You know what? Irsay, because Irsay's a drunk, they're not going to listen to Irsay.
But he has a point.
He has a point, but he's still a drunk. That's why they're not listening.
Just like his dad.
Yeah. It runs in the family. The guy looks like W.C. Fields. Come on.
Yeah.
You know, he's not. They're not going to take him seriously.
All right, so we got about 6 more minutes to make it a full 2 hours.
Okay.
So you don't see a loss there. Do you see a loss?
I see a possible loss.
Denver or one of the Detroit games, or what?
I'm thinking one of the Detroit games because division games are always just much harder, and our last 3 games are all division games.
The 2 of them are at home, though.
And
yeah,
the pressure,
but I mean, it's going to be hard to play Detroit, Packers, and Detroit again.
And here's another thing: there's no pressure on Minnesota.
No, the pressure's all on Detroit.
Yeah.
Because we're not supposed to be doing anything right now with our third string quarterback.
Yeah, I mean we're basically playing with house money. We have no quarterback.
No JJ.
No JJ.
A hurt TJ.
Yep.
A hurt KJ. That's too many J's, man.
Yeah, we got a lot of J's on this team.
Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, I think it's all. I don't know. This does have the feeling. Someone said this feels like '98. This is not '98 because that team blew teams out.
Yep.
This feels more like 17 or 09.
It feels a bit 09 because I have more confidence in this team than I do that team from 2017.
You know what? It feels like 17 and 09, but to me, it kind of feels like, I'll even go back further. It feels like 88. They put a run in 88, and it was because the defense went from the bottom to the top real quick. And they got consistent play out of their quarterback, which was Wade Wilson. And guess what? They could not do in 88, run the ball.
Which will cost them the playoffs,
for the most part, our offense has, like, all the injuries. Our defense has been pretty healthy.
Well, that 17 team relied on the defense, and the defense faltered in the championship game. That's why the Vikings lost. I don't think this defense is going to falter.
But, I kind of wonder, like, is our defense more healthy because they're younger?
Well, they got bumps and bruises, and the bumps and bruises haven't taken a toll yet. They probably will as the season goes on.
Well,
but
I think that bye is coming at the perfect time.
Right. But luckily, they haven't sustained any major injuries. But here's another thing, too. A lot of the defensive backs now aren't as concussed.
Yeah.
They're not getting concussed.
Like
they're actually in there hitting. I mean, Evans is hitting, Booth is hitting. You've got Blackman making plays. Our safeties are making plays. I mean, it's kind of, and it actually takes a lot of pressure off of, guess who? Harrison Smith, the veteran.
Yeah.
He still blitzes. He's still in the box for most plays, but the only injury now they have really on defense is Dean Lowry, and Lowry.
Who?
Yeah.
Captain Invisible.
I'd rather keep Bullard in there.
Yeah, and Davenport. Davenport's the major injury.
Yeah.
He's an afterthought.
He's not scheduled to come back until after the bye.
Right. So you're still getting a pass rush.
And I mean, if we make a playoff push, then he'll come in at the right time. So.
Right. And once again, I mean, we're lucky. I mean, who's the last proven quarterback we actually played? Was that Mahomes?
We got Russell Wilson. Some people would say he's
Russell Wilson hasn't been the same since Sierra started giving it to him regularly, so I'm not even worried about him.
And then we got Goff twice. Whoever the quarterback for the Bears is.
It'll still be Badgett. The Bears are done with Fields.
So
moving up in Fields.
And then we have Burrow.
Aiden O'Connell.
Burrow.
I think Flores is going to eat him alive.
We play Burrow.
Yeah, we got Burrow.
That's it. Burrow's a top 5 QB when he's healthy. I don't think he's healthy.
He's not healthy. And he might be. I mean, he might be coming back to earth. That's another. He got paid.
Well, like I said, I told Bengal fans, we've seen this story before. You guys went to your one Super Bowl, and every 20 years they go to a Super Bowl, something like that. The Bengals.
Well,
they got robbed in that one Super Bowl.
Now that his rookie contract is up. They've
paid
been
him.
losing a lot of players.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they paid him.
Yeah.
So
If Dobbs keeps playing like this, the Vikings will have the both worlds. They'll have a quarterback who's not very expensive, but he's also not a rookie.
Yeah.
mm-hmm.
Kind of like what the Seahawks are doing right now.
Exactly. Now he will get paid next year. Dobbs will get paid. Somebody will take that chance. But yeah, I think if you're the Vikings, you have to
15
be
million. You think he'll get more than that?
more than 15 mil,
Yeah.
depending on what he does this year. It depends on the team. I mean, you're paid. There are teams that are paying that much for quarterbacks that aren't even on a roster. You know.
If Daniel Jones can get 40, who knows what?
Thank you. Exactly. If Daniel Jones can break the bank, you know damn well Dobbs can break the bank. I mean, and the Giants right now are kicking themselves for giving Jones all that money.
Do you think they're drafting a quarterback, or
who the hell started? No, not with what they're playing Daniel Jones. I don't think they're going to draft a quarterback.
Some guy named DeVito.
Yeah, but I mean, like, because you know they're going to be drafting top 5. Do you think they draft a quarterback to replace Daniel Jones?
It depends. It depends. I don't know if Dabble still has a job.
I think he's got leeway.
Well, he played the Vikings twice last year. That saved his job.
Yeah, him winning that playoff game extended his coaching life.
Helps.
Yeah, but I mean, this year, I mean, come on, and the Cowboys ran up how many points on him in 2 games? That's got a lasting impression with Giants fans and Giant front office when you lose to the Cowboys like you did this year. So yeah, he could, but they're going to get another quarterback. They're going to. I mean, and so are the Jets. If Rodgers comes back or not, Rodgers may say, "I'm going to retire."
He just said today that he's planning on coming back in December.
Sure, he is.
Their season will be over by then. Their season's over right now.
Oh, did they lost?
Yeah, they lost. They lost tonight.
They lost today.
Yep. They lost to the Raiders. Raiders are 500. They're 2-0 under Antonio Pierce. You know, things that make you go, "What the fuck?" You know. But
it's sad that Josh McDaniels is that bad, and you're saying that he's still making another job before other people.
It's not his coaching ability; it's who you know.
Yeah.
That's the sad part. With a lot of the NFL, even with the players and all that, it's who you know.
I mean, you would be dumb if you hired him after seeing him.
You'd be a damn fool. But here's the thing. Mark Davis shouldn't have hired him in the first damn place and gave him that big-ass contract after what he did to the Colts.
Is he still paying for Gruden?
And the Broncos.
Yeah. He's playing for 2 coaches.
Yeah, he's paying Gruden, and he's paying McDaniels right now. And he's paying Pierce. He's paying 3 coaches.
Yeah, so it's like,
and the Davises are probably the brokest of all the owners.
Yeah, I bet
they own an NFL. They own an NFL team. That's where their money comes from.
I bet you they're gonna stick with that interim head coach as their coach going for next season.
It's cheaper.
You can't afford to hire anybody.
No, it's cheaper, and the players are playing for him. So you kind of want to stick with it.
That was his mistake when because that year that they had all that Gruden stuff and they they got to the playoffs with Bisaccia. Is that his name?
Yeah, Rich Bisaccia.
Yeah, and then they got rid of him and brought in McDaniels.
That was a mistake. And the only reason McDaniels even got a job is because of his name and his association with Belichick.
And I don't think the Eagles head coach is that good. I think he just has players.
Sirianni? No.
Yeah,
he's not that good.
Players.
He's not that good. But
yeah, that's why people keep saying he should win Coach of the Year. I'm like, for what? I mean, give a coach and give any coach that line. I mean, those players. I think they would do well, except for maybe Urban Meyer. But I mean, otherwise,
Josh McDaniels.
Oh yeah, yeah.
He wouldn't do that good.
No, he wouldn't. He just
the Buffalo Bills might be looking for. There's a lot of possibilities. See, we might lose Flores because you think about it. The Colts are probably not the Colts, but the Raiders.
Bills.
Yeah, I think they're all going. offensive coaches though.
I think
because they had
I
a
think
defensive
Saleh gets
coach.
another year because
Somebody's gonna take a chance on a defensive coach because
Yeah.
a lot of these offensive coaches ain't cutting it.
because the Bills coach is definitely on the hot seat.
Maybe
think-
like Atlanta, because Atlanta had an offensive coach. So
Oh, they're
if they-
definitely.
And I'll tell you right now, Atlanta would be the perfect spot for Flores. It would be the perfect spot for Flores. Atlanta would be.
but if Atlanta's drafting a quarterback, then they're probably wanting to go offensive coach too to develop their quarterback.
Well, if
Not
you
if you
get
get the right quarterback coach.
if you get the right quarterback coach or offensive coordinator, you can still do that.
Yeah,
You can
Yeah,
still
but
do
if
that.
you get a good offensive coordinator, they're going to get poached.
because that
Yeah.
defense has got some good
That's,
players.
and
on it.
that's just what you have to deal with.
Yeah.
The coaches and teams are reaching now for the next hot shot. Unfortunately, the Vikings have done that twice with Childress and with KOC. But in the KOC thing, depending on what is said and what comes out in the next few months,
Yeah.
could be a problem for the Vikings. It could be a PR nightmare if what I've been told gets out and is made public. So the best thing KOC can do right now is keep winning. But the first,
But I mean, like with that situation though, it doesn't affect KOC, I don't think, because he had nothing to do with it.
he had nothing to do with it, but it shines a bad negative light on the Vikings front office because of how it went down.
Mm-hmm.
That's the problem, and all the shenanigans that happened behind the scenes to make sure that the person they were going to talk to didn't get the gig. But they had said person in building and were set to hire him, have a press conference, and announce him as the next head coach. And then all of a sudden, with what happened, they scrambled. And 20 minutes later, guess what? They were all in on KOC. And KOC told him he wasn't interested in the gig. So, Gil, I will spill the beans, but right now we've talked about it before, but it's coming to light. And I'll just put it this way. The Vikings PR people are doing backspins to try and keep this in a positive light and not let it out. And that's what the problem is. So, but yeah, it could get bad from a PR standpoint for the team. So,
I don't know. I'm not a fan of Harbaugh though, so
I would have took Harbaugh in a heartbeat.
I'm not a fan.
Well, guess where he's going now? He's going to the Bears.
I don't think he is.
Well,
Because
Bowles, they're also saying Poles could get fired now.
Well, because they were saying that Kevin, who's the CEO of the Bears, and Harbaugh, they don't like each other.
The only reason Kevin Warren is there is to get that team a stadium in Arlington Heights. That's the only reason he's there. The only reason. The McCaskies want to win. So they want to get a coach. And Harbaugh's got ties to the city.
No, I think Harbaugh is going to the Raiders.
No, he will not work for Mark Davis. No, he will not work for Mark Davis. No.
I think he thinks Mark Davis is an idiot. Harbaugh.
Mark Davis is a clown. I think a lot of people think Mark Davis is a clown. He'll go to Chicago, and it'll help. And here's the thing: he's got ties to Chicago. He's a Bear. He'll go back to that Bears type of football. And guess who he's going to bring with him? J.J. McCarthy. He'll move on from Fields. And at first it was just kind of like a the rumor mill, but now more and more people, even on like national media, are putting it in there that he could possibly be with the Bears.
And with the stuff that's going on with Michigan right now, he's probably more than likely.
And that Michigan thing, with everything that's going on,
it's the same guy, by the way.
It's the same guy that sabotaged his hiring with the Vikings that is causing all the problems with the NCAA. It's the same guy.
Damn, what the hell did Harbaugh do to him?
Everybody's asking.
We don't know.
Why is it so personal with this guy in Harbaugh?
Yeah.
Everybody's asking.
Because it's personal when a guy is going to that length.
Yeah, it's personal. It's very personal.
But this guy loves Michigan, but yet he's willing to kill the success of the program,
Right.
despite
That-
Harbaugh.
But yet, last year is when he said, or the year before was when last year was when he said he did not want to take Harbaugh from Michigan. That's
Probably
why,
because he wanted to expose
But that's the
Harbaugh.
Vikings PR.
right? But it was out there. It was out there that he did not want to take, and the guy's a minority owner.
So if
How
you
much
look that
freaking
story up,
power
you'll
does he
find out.
have?
If you look that story up, you'll find out who we're talking about.
Yeah. And now all of a sudden he's bringing up this stuff about Michigan. This is personal.
Yep.
This is real personal. That's why it could come back and bite this team in the PR ass because of it. So,
Because Harbaugh was here for like 3 days.
yeah, he was in town. They were going to announce him.
He left on their National Signing Day from Michigan to come
Yeah,
here.
he left. He was here. He was.
It
in
was a
Minnesota.
done deal. That's why.
He was in Egan at TCO. He got the tour. He got to stay there. They were going to have the press conference and everything, and then it all came out about Stapleton. I just let the guy's name out.
Yeah, you should.
Then it came out about him.
There you go, Bob. You spilled the beans for
There you go. Thanks a lot, Bob. But it all of a sudden, Stapleton was the one who made it vocal that he did not want to take Harbaugh from the University of Michigan. Although Stapleton is banned from the sidelines for other stuff.
Yeah, I bet you he wanted Harbaugh to stay at Michigan so that he could expose Harbaugh.
Yeah, and then he pulls this year. He pulls this. So it's like, that's personal. No, the only reason we're bringing this up, Bob, is because when it happened, when we were looking for a new head coach, Harbaugh was set to be named the new head coach, and then all hell broke loose because of what Stapleton did, which is what Stapleton is doing right now.
And he's a minority.
And he's a minority owner.
Yeah.
That's and the Vikings and the
guy who's in jail has more percentage of the ownership than he does.
Yeah. And then, but of course, the Vikings.
But I mean, the way it sounds, though, he's got a lot of power. Then
he shouldn't have that power at all.
That's
what I don't understand. Why the Wilfs gave him that power, and then so what did the Vikings do? Mark Wilf calls Trent Baalke, who
another guy
also doesn't get along with Harbaugh.
Yeah.
And then now you don't have anybody in town for 3 days and not hire them. You've got the press conference and everything set up, and then all of a sudden you don't hire them. That's BS. And Harbaugh was
Kwesi's guy too.
And he was Kwesi's guy. So the Wilfs shot down Kwesi. And then as soon as it came out, the press came out that Harbaugh was not going to get the job. Already the PR was going with out the Twin Cities media. What did the Vikings do to blow this? 20 minutes later, the Vikings put out a press release saying they were all in on Kevin O'Connell. When Kevin O'Connell had told them, do not talk to me because I'm getting ready to coach the Super Bowl. Which to me, I think is some sort of tampering. So, it's like, so and then if we don't know if KOC really wanted a gig or not, he might have been kind of backed into a corner to take it. Because I think
you might be right, Rosie, because I think he has a relationship with Miller.
Who?
What's his name?
KOC?
No. I'm drawing a brain glass. The guy
Stapleton?
Stapleton?
Because the comment from Frozen North says it's not about percentage, it's about the friendship with the Wilfs.
Yeah, that's why I get on the Wilfs about not being football people. It's not. They're PR people.
The only football guy they have is Grigskin, and he, of course, ruined Andrew Luck's career.
You know what, Bob? Yeah, I think I can tell you right now, he did want roster control like Chili, but he was also going to get rid of Kirk Cousins. He didn't want Kirk Cousins. So that might have had something to do with it too.
That's why they didn't hire Poles either.
That's why they didn't hire Poles, because Poles wanted to blow up the roster. So
which I'm kind of glad they didn't, because he's not doing a very good job of rebuilding that roster.
No, he's not. And he's got more money and everything else, and he's not doing it in Chicago.
Yeah, like I thought he did a horrible job because he's got draft picks. He had the most cap, and yet none of the issues were addressed, which made no sense.
Why the hell did he? Okay, first of all, why the hell would you hire Eberflus?
Well, and then why would you give up a high second round?
Maybe
draft
Eberflus is not a
sweat
coach
when you could just sign him after the season.
Well, remember, Fields is now Poles' pick, so that right there is another one too. But that's where I kind of like. That's why I asked the question. Even with KOC, is management in his ear about telling him who to use and give more time to? That's the only reason I can explain Madison.
Do you think Eberflus is a beta male? That's why they hired him.
Yeah.
Yeah, now that you mention
it. Like he's not going to stand up to Poles.
He's a pussy. Excuse my language, Sarah, but yeah, he's
He's a more pussy than me.
That I believe. Because Sarah, you said you're like what? Like 4'9", like 4'11", 5 feet or something like that?
I am 4'12".
Yeah. See, I'm afraid of short women.
There is a 4'12". I thought a good one is 4'11". Next thing you know, you're 5 feet.
No, because my friend doesn't give me the credit for being 5 feet, so she says I can be 4'12".
Oh, she's a hater.
Yeah. You're like a full foot and 2 inches shorter than me, and like I said, I'm not afraid of tall women. It's just short women. That's
my girl's only like I mean she's what 5'1".
Yeah,
But
and short girls are mean. I'll tell you that straight up.
She's got that attitude. My God, she has that attitude. It's just like, okay, I'm going in the other room. It's like you're mad at the world today, and I don't know why. But yeah, I mean, he's just the Bears are worse off now than when Poles took over. That's why I think Harbaugh.
Well, I mean, if we really think about it, the Vikings are probably in the best position because the Lions are going to end up being the Lions.
Mm-hmm.
The Packers are going to be sucking for a while.
The Packers are a lost cause.
The Packers are probably worse positioned than the Bears.
Right. The Packers are a lost cause. They're right now, that roster, it reminds me, I'm just watching this team, and they remind me so much of those teams in the 80s, it's not even funny.
Well,
it just is.
I mean, I'm glad that they drafted Van Ness because I thought it was such a waste of a pick. Like, why would you draft a project at pick 12 when those picks are supposed to be draft picks that come in to help your team right away?
And they just extended, who was it, Gary?
Gary? He's the best player. Rashawn Gary's the best player.
Rashawn Gary, they extended him, but so now you got Preston Smith on the other side, and I think his contract might be.
When I was listening to that Packers vent line, they don't even have confidence in their top 2 receivers, Dobbs and Watson. Did
Watson play today, or was he hurt?
I don't. But they're talking about the 3rd and 4th receiver. They're Packer fans. They're like, well, I'm more excited about the 3rd and 4th receiver. I can't remember their name. That's why I'm saying 3rd and 4th receivers on the team. They're talking about
and somebody.
Yeah, and he's like
Wills or something.
The guy made a good point though. He was actually an intelligent Packer fan, which there aren't too many of.
Wait, how do you get intelligence with a Packer fan?
Because he was saying that the Packers expected Dobbs and Watson to act like veteran wide receivers when them themselves are not veteran wide receivers.
That's only their second year.
I know. That's what he was getting at. He's like, they don't have any veteran presence on that team at all, except for some of the offensive line.
And that's also where the head coach steps in. I'll give KOC credit. Whatever KOC's done with the Vikings up to now, he's actually done a good job.
Yeah.
Locker room wise, some personnel wise. He's out there. He's not making it. He's got these guys in a position to win. LaFleur has had Rodgers and now looks lost.
Yep.
He looks really lost. So, and I wouldn't be surprised if LaFleur is fired. soon.
Well, they were talking about that because Mark Murphy's retiring.
Oh, is he really?
They're probably not going to make any changes until after he retires. And they're talking about the head guy to replace Mark Murphy. It's Carmen Policy's son, Ed Policy. He's probably the lead candidate. I don't know who he is. I don't know if he's good.
I'll be honest. Why would I want that job?
Well, look at
Well,
their
because
defense.
you are.
It's
There's
all
no
full
owner
of
above you.
first-round draft picks, and yet their defense is worse than ours.
Yeah, especially that secondary.
Every year they talk about Packers defense, Packers defense, Packers defense. Packers defense.
Oh, can I put this out there? Jair Alexander, shut the fuck up. You talk too damn much.
Well, if you can understand the fucking thing he says.
Oh, mushmouth?
Him talking should be required to come with closed captions.
Or a translator.
I don't even think the closed caption machine could understand what he says.
God.
But yeah, and also the Saints guy saying that if I saw a Saints, I don't know if it was a YouTuber or podcaster, I'm not sure. They said that the Vikings should be lucky that JJ's not playing because they would shut him down. They couldn't even shut down Addison.
They couldn't shut down. No,
they couldn't shut down Hawkinson.
I bet you I saw the same one you saw, Curtis, because one of them were like, "Oh, we should be so glad that JJ's not playing because Lattimore would shut him down." I'm like, did you not see the game last year?
Yeah.
Did you not see the game? I mean, Jesus.
Did you not see the Minneapolis Miracle? Thank you.
No. I mean, my God. Packer fans are delusional. They really are.
No, it's just Saints fans.
Or Saints fans? Yeah, they're delusional.
Yeah. Well, like what I found funny is like these last teams we played, they've all like, I don't understand how we lost to a team that were better than. I'm like, but are you?
Yeah, are you really?
But
yeah, they talked down to us. Because our record, we had a losing record, but I'm like, hey, we're the best 1-3 team, okay?
The thing is, I grew up liking the Saints. I didn't dislike the Saints until 2009. It's not because they beat us in the championship.
They were dirty in 2009.
It's the way that they beat the.
They were dirty in 2009. Sean Payton was an arrogant asshole. I didn't like Drew Brees. I never liked Drew Brees. I didn't like Drew Brees at Purdue.
I don't like. I see. Like I don't hate the Falcons. The Falcons beat us in '98. I don't hate the Falcons.
I have no problem with the Falcons.
But the reason I hate the Saints is because of the way they beat the Vikings in 2009.
The teams that I hate the most, I don't even hate Green Bay because Green Bay is a divisional team. The fan base leaves a lot to be desired.
Yeah,
but it's forever. It'll be the Cowboys, and it'll be the Saints.
Yeah, those are my top three: Packers, Cowboys, Saints.
And it'll be because of those dirty. Well, for the Saints, it's those dirty ass hits that they took on Favre.
Yeah,
and we talk about the hits on Favre. They don't even mention the week before when they played the Cardinals. They literally ended Kurt Warner's career.
Yeah,
they ended it with one vicious hit, and it was a comeback block, and it was on an interception. So, and guess what? This is where it's not who you know. This is where it's who you know in the NFL, because Greg Williams was still getting jobs.
Yeah.
He was still getting hired, and he was the architect of that damn Saints defense that took the cheap shots. Matter of fact, when Williams got to the Rams, we played the Rams Teddy's second year, maybe rookie year, and they took that cheap shot on Teddy.
Yeah, the one where Mike Zimmer almost went across the field.
Yeah, Mike Zimmer almost went across the field and was going to beat somebody's ass.
Yeah,
and that was Greg Williams' team. That was Greg Williams' defense. So I mean, and he kept getting jobs.
Yeah,
it's like these coaches. You wonder with the players, but eventually the players are gone. But with the coaches, they keep recycling them and recycling them and recycling them.
Yeah, and the culture comes from the coach, not from the player.
Comes from the coach. Yeah. And who else was on that team? Darren Sharper. On that Saints team.
He's serving life, isn't he?
Yeah, he got damn near.
If it's not life, it's pretty damn near close to life.
Yeah, he's got life. I mean, he's got charges. He had charges in like 6 or 7 different cities, different states.
Yeah. Every travel city.
I guess the only one he didn't have him here was Minneapolis, because I didn't hear anything about him in Minneapolis, but it was all the other cities he was in. So, but yeah, so I mean, and that,
come on, Dobbs. The Packers cannot be your second favorite team, man.
Who said that?
Because of Favre. Well, there's a lot of respect for Favre.
I never hated Favre. I hated Rodgers, but I never hated Favre. But I'm not going to cheer for the Packers just because I never,
No, I can't cheer for a division. I can cheer for a divisional team, but
To
but
a
it's
certain
like,
point.
but here's the thing though. Like I said, I don't have a problem with the Packers' history, their players, whatever, their lineage. But that fan base, they have been getting on my nerves for the last 30 years, since 92.
Yep.
And they've been insufferable.
Well, if you notice, most of the Packer contents are young.
Yeah.
The people who do Packers on YouTube are young. They don't know. There is one guy, Cheesehead TV. His name's Angar, I think his name is. He's
Aaron
like,
Nagler?
he's like, I remember how bad the Packers were. And he's like, this team this year looks a lot like those bad Packers.
They look like those bad Packer teams.
Right. All these other people are saying, "Oh, the Packers are going to turn around. This is a 1-year thing." No, dude, no.
You don't have.
Nobody
Well,
wants to
when
put-
they were pushing that narrative that Watson was going to be better than Moss, Nagler was like, "You youngins do not know about Randy Moss." And
He's like the most realistic Packer. Well, Tom Grossi's pretty realistic too. He's like, this team's bad, but Aaron, he's probably the one who knows. He's like, guys,
Hey guys, my girl's she's in the chat. She said, "Great win for y'all today." Thanks, baby.
Great win. Oh, you guys almost had it today.
I'm sorry for the Falcons.
Yeah,
and what went down. That was just.
It's your coach.
Well.
Yeah,
my wife had to work today. My wife's a nurse, so she was on call. So she does like surgeries. So, on the weekend, sometimes they're on call because they do surgeries. And she took a nap when she came home. So she gets up. She goes, "So did your team win?" I'm like, "Yeah." She goes, "God, how many chickens have they sacrificed this year?"
You know what? We're just on that roll. We're just on. That's where I kind of am like, I give KOC credit because he has his moments where he looks like he doesn't know what he's doing, but then all of a sudden he does something that makes you think he's ready for this.
But
that he can.
But I have like more faith in this team this year, even though we're still winning close games. Is the games we lost aren't devastating like last year's.
They're not 30 and 40 point losses.
Which got Childress fired, Bob. Because he cut Randy Moss without telling the Wolves.
Yeah, that's why he got fired. Actually, my girls up here fire Arthur Smith.
Hey, will you take Harbaugh as your head coach?
I think she would take Harbaugh.
Well, but I mean, like if you're Atlanta, you have got to be embarrassed. You lost to Will Levis, you lost to Dobbs, and then you lost to
Kyler Murray.
Tyler Murray came
all
back.
three of them are like just starting.
Well, not only that,
so
that was.
And Bijan Robinson had a big game, but he had a key fumble again.
Yeah, that's why they don't trust him.
That's why they don't trust. The kid is good, but he just can't hang on to the ball.
He's Melvin Gordon 2.0.
Yeah. So I mean, that's why I said, don't be surprised, Viking fans, if there is a call. If there is a call to the Vikings about interviewing Brian Flores at the end of the year.
How about they beat the Packers 24-10, but we couldn't celebrate it because Cousins got hurt.
Actually, you know what? I did celebrate it. There was that dark cloud that Cousins got hurt, but I'm like, it happens. But I wasn't doom and gloom like a lot of people were up here.
I was sad
getting hurt.
I took a sad nap after that game.
No, I took a nap because I was tired. I took a nap because I was tired. I mean,
I did not see this coming. I'm glad it's happening, but I did not see it coming.
No, this is
well, I mean, the guy played for started 10 years without an injury, so no one would have expected that he would get injured.
Well, I knew the injury was eventually going to happen, but what I was talking about was how they're playing after he got hurt. Because
you know what they're playing. It's almost like they're playing loose.
Yeah, they're
like no expectation, no expectations, no nothing. They're just letting it out there, letting it fly.
Except for KOC getting tight.
Except for KOC's play calling.
getting tight today.
Yeah,
Because
you
he even
know.
said it. He even said it in his press conference. It's on me. I didn't call the plays for us to succeed.
And that's true. I mean, for us to get, he's got to, like I said, score more than 14, win by more than 14, but he's
Just
got to
keep
be
running the same
consistent.
offense.
Yeah, be consistent in his play calling.
Andy Reid don't change his offense when they get up big.
Mm-mm.
No, the Eagles coach doesn't change.
No.
Mike McCarthy definitely doesn't take his foot off the gas.
No.
You can say what you want about Mike McCarthy, but that's one thing he does not do.
No,
You know.
and he could be out of a job at the end of the year too.
I would not. That's one job I would never take as long as Jerry Jones is the owner.
Well, you know who they're going to give it to if they let go of McCarthy? Dan Quinn.
No, I don't think he's very good.
Yeah, but he got the Super Bowl. He
He
got the
also
Super
blew
Bowl.
a 28-3 lead.
Well, if you ask my girl, that was Shanahan. That was Shanahan.
But the head coach could always override the OC.
You know what, though? There's a lot of head coaches that will not do it. They will not, because it's like I said before, they don't want to say anything to that coordinator that might piss them off because they don't want anybody telling them how to run their defense or their offense or their play.
Yeah, but you're the head coach. I don't care. If I'm the head coach and you call a play, I don't like it. I'm telling my OC to change the play.
But guess what? We're from a different generation and not like that anymore.
Because I know when I was in high school, I would heard my head coach talking to my OC like, "No, that's a bad thing. Don't call that. That's not going to work."
I heard it as semi-pro. You hear it as semi-pro. It's like, don't call that. No, don't run that. Let's run.
Yeah,
this.
he should have been like, "Jokes. If I see them get one more yard, I'm gonna." How did he say in that movie? Remember the Titans when he was like telling jokes that they better not score another or gain another yard?
Oh yeah.
I mean, all he had to do was throw it a couple of times or run it a couple more times.
Yeah.
You know, don't throw the ball here. We need to run some clock. Or you got the greatest quarterback on the other sideline. Don't give him as less time as possible to come back.
That's another thing with KOC too. He's got to work on his clock management, especially taking time off the clock late in games.
He did pretty well today.
Today he did well, but he's still giving the opponents too many chances late in games.
Yeah. I think that's because we can't run.
Yeah, and that's why we can't run. You know, but then
could run, just not with Madison.
Yeah, that's true.
Ty Chandler was running pretty damn good.
Yeah, I mean but like I said, he's got to stick with it. So
we did do some RPOs just with the quarterback, you know.
Mm-hmm. Well, and now they're going to have to be prepared too because every team's going to have a spy on Dobbs going forward. So they're going to have to. He's going to have to scheme for that. I think he can do that.
Yeah,
I think he can. I'm giving the guy credit. I mean, which is killing me. But
but look at how he's handled our situation with our losses at the beginning versus LaFleur. You know, and we've turned our season around.
No,
right. Well, here's another thing too with KOC. This is the first time he has ever called plays.
And another comment to that, going back to the Falcons. Yes, Dan Quinn's a defensive coach. Shanahan is an offensive coach. But as a head coach, I may not tell you what play to call. I can tell you to run the damn ball more.
Yeah.
Call more running plays. We need to run this clock.
Take time off the clock.
Yeah.
You can't do
that. Like, I'm not going to tell you to run outside, inside, or whatever. But I will say run more. We need to run
Play
more.
more ball control. Take time off the clock. Keep the defense off the field. Keep them fresh just in case they have to go back in for whatever reason.
Yeah.
You know,
that's right. I think like Shanahan gets way too much credit because
that comes from his dad.
And he got way too much credit.
And we see that Shanahan needs players because everybody says, "Oh, it's a system. It's a system." No, you need players too because
he's got McCaffrey and Debo and Kittle and
Dabo came back today. That offense looked way different with Dabo on the field.
Yeah, Trent Williams played too, right?
Yeah, everyone was back for the 49ers.
No.
Do you think the 49ers would be doing what the Minnesota is if they lost their quarterback, their star receiver, their running back, and their tackle.
No, they're winning with Mr. Irrelevant.
Yeah. So, I mean,
Yeah, but and also though they always had the lead in this game, so they didn't have to worry about coming back. Look at the games that they lost.
I'm going to tell you something. Jacksonville looked outmatched today.
yeah.
They looked outmatched. They just
Trevor Lawrence had lost.
yeah.
But I mean, had the 49ers played coming from behind, I don't think they would have done as good as they did. It was because they already had a lead.
But here's the thing too. I mean, Minnesota literally beat up the Niners when they played them.
Yeah,
Physically were dominant.
Which Tony, you and I never saw that coming.
I haven't
thought that would happen.
Yeah, I never thought that would happen. They were physically dominant. They were literally punching the Niners in the face.
And the 49ers didn't know how to react.
And the 49ers didn't know how to react.
Because they're usually the ones doing it.
Yep, they were stunned.
Like that playoff game when Minnesota went to San Francisco. They beat Minnesota as bad physically as you could beat somebody.
Right.
Yeah, but that was with Zimmer, so we don't have that. I mean, they don't have that.
But the Vikings should have been tougher under Zimmer.
They should have been tougher under Zimmer.
They should have been tougher. Oh, I mean, come on, think about some of the players he had. Oh, he just was saying hi to me in the hallway.
He had friggin' I mean, Kendricks did
fuck
that.
up.
Kendricks did that. I'm like, you're lucky he even knows your name, asshole.
Who are you again? Why are you in the hallway?
Exactly.
Who are you?
Have I cut you yet?
Yeah.
I thought I traded you.
I cut Moss. I can cut you.
Yeah. It's just that whole kumbaya. And here's the thing with KOC is, and I said KOC's got to get a little tougher. He is still soft, and he still has those moments where the team looks soft, but he's got to toughen up himself. Hopefully he does.
I mean, it is only his second year as a head coach. You grow.
He wants to be. It's almost like he wants to be everybody's friend.
He's not bitter yet.
But
yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
He hasn't done like the quote unquote like in the NASCAR world when there's a cocky young driver. He hasn't done his Talladega role yet. So I don't know what the equivalent that would be in football as far as being like humbled or whatever, but he hasn't experienced that yet.
Yeah,
trust me, he's the Vikings head coach. He will.
If he starts getting a bunch of calls against him and it's real noticeable, he might change his tune. But he's that type of PR guy that he'll probably be like, we got to do this, we got to do that, but he doesn't pass the buck.
We got to be more disciplined. We can't make mistakes. We can't shoot ourselves in the foot.
Yeah.
Even though we got a letter from the NFL saying that the referees missed 17 calls.
Exactly.
Like that Sunday night game against the Packers.
Yeah. Yeah, but we should have overcame those calls, but that's on me. It's like, dude, you're not a referee, you're just a coach. But yeah, I mean, you hope he gets that figured out. I think he will. Having the type of quarterback he has right now is a big game changer.
Well, and I think going through all the adversities this year it's good for him.
I think he learned from his mistakes because look at the mistake he made last year with Donachel as a defensive coordinator. So he went to completely opposite to a very aggressive defensive coordinator.
And one that'll probably challenge him on calls. That probably challenges him in that coach's room.
Yeah.
So that helps. And like I said, I mean, Flores has worked wonders with a bunch of nobodies. So
I mean, there is talent, but yeah, you wouldn't consider coming into the season.
But here's the thing, though: that talent that we have on defense, they're all backups on other NFL teams.
Well, not the safeties and not the defensive ends, but other.
Bynum's not even a safety. Bynum's a corner.
Well, but I think Metellus would start. Harrison definitely would start.
Well, outside of Harrison and Daniil,
yeah,
Wanham would probably start on some teams.
Murphy.
No, Murphy does not. No,
Murphy should not be starting.
Yeah, he shouldn't even be starting for us. I think
he shouldn't even be starting for us.
Yeah.
He's at times a liability. But I mean,
we got pace, man. Come on.
Well, Pace, and see, I don't understand how Pace does not get drafted. I don't understand how,
Size.
It's his size. It's the only thing you can think of.
and that's nitpicking. That's really because most of your linebackers aren't much bigger than him nowadays. So I mean,
and if he looked, I mean, he got there was that long pass that he got beat on, but he was not that far away from the receiver. I think it was incomplete because the defensive. I think
he overthrew him. He overshot him.
He overthrew him. But Evans, I mean,
overthrew him.
Pace was he wasn't. I mean, he was like a yard and a half away.
Technically, Pace shouldn't be, if a traditional linebacker, Pace shouldn't be that deep in coverage.
No,
he shouldn't be that deep in coverage. That's the whole thing. So, but I mean, you know, Hicks is older. He fits his scheme. I don't know if he makes it any other team.
I see Bob Swede and them talking about Bill Belichick being the defensive coordinator. That dude, once he's done being the head
Well,
coach.
Belichick is also what, 71, 72?
Yeah, once he's become head coach, he ain't gonna coach again.
He's done.
Yeah.
He's done.
And he did cut KOC as his quarterback. I don't think they were really like fond of each other.
KOC was not a good quarterback.
So
let's just be honest.
No,
he was not a good quarterback. And here's the thing now, that's why they keep bringing it up, because he could retire. I think he wants to stick around and try to tie Shula's record.
Yeah, I think he wants to be the all-time winningest coach and then retire.
Right. Guess what? That ain't happening when Mac Jones is your quarterback.
Well, it ain't happening when you can't draft players.
Because right now he's at what, 305? 303?
Yeah,
Something like that.
I thought he was at 300.
I mean, the rate they're winning is going to take another like 10 years.
Well, because Shula's at 325, something like that, right?
Shula's at 328.
So 328. So if you're winning 4 games a year, that's 7 more years. So,
damn.
Just a tie.
Wow, since you put it that way, wow.
Yeah.
And everybody's.
But he looks beat down.
Oh, he's tired. He's tired.
I think maybe if he gave up being a GM and just did the coach part, because he can't draft worth shit.
Well, and there's also
been holding them back.
There's also friction between him and Kraft.
Mm-hmm.
That's another problem too. And Kraft is ready to move on. Kraft has that. Once Kraft got the Super Bowls, you know, that's all he sees, which is understandable.
Well, I mean, I get it, but the Patriots were a crap franchise before Brady came along.
Not even Brady. They had Bledsoe. It was Bledsoe that was winning. And then all of a sudden Bledsoe got hurt, which got Brady in there. And
but did Parcells bring Bledsoe in?
Yes.
All right. So Belichick needs 16
Bledsoe
more
was
wins.
Parcells'
Okay,
guy.
so even if they win 4 wins a year, that's still what?
So that's
4 more
too
years.
long.
Too long. That's too long.
That's 4 more years.
He'll be damn near 80.
Yeah.
And Pete Carroll's what is Pete Carroll?
Pete Carroll's the oldest coach in the NFL.
How old is he?
I think he's 72, 73.
Okay, they both need to retire.
But Pete Carroll doesn't look old, though.
No, Pete Carroll's old. He needs to retire. I don't care if he looks it or not. He needs to retire. The guy's gonna have. I mean, he's hyper and he's a Bud Grant guy. He's like the last tie to Bud as far as coaches go. I believe he's the last one that's connected to Bud Grant.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, he's the last one. All the others are gone.
So was he an assistant coach?
Yes, he was.
Yeah, for the Vikings,
He was a defensive backs coach under Bud and under Jerry Burns. He coached Joey Browner and Carl Lee.
Oh.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was in both of those. And then which was weird at the time, he got the head coaching job with the Jets.
Right. And of course the Jets are no one's ever good as a Jets coach, you know, unless your name's Parcells. You're not good as the Jets coach.
All right, baby. I'll give you a call a little later. She's also a Rockets fan, and the Rockets won. So,
yeah,
but yeah, he was the last tie to that era. He's the last one.
I think they won today. They won a close one against Washington today.
The
Yeah,
Seahawks, yeah, they won. It was like a last minute field goal or walk off field goal or something like that. I think.
Washington's been playing pretty decent when they got rid of Sweat and Young, and that defense has actually been playing pretty decent.
Well, they still got that beast in the middle in Allen.
Right.
And and Deron Payne or whatever his name is.
Oh, they still got Payne too?
Yeah, they still got Payne too.
Okay. I'm pretty sure what's his name is gone from there at the end of the year, Rivera. But I really think Bieniemy gets that gig.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, I think Bieniemy gets that gig because what Bieniemy's done with Sam Howell.
Well, and just look at Kansas, their offense without Bieniemy.
Well, you know who's running that offense now?
Childress.
Yeah, it's Nagy. You might as well have said Childress because he did hire Childress back too. He did hire Childress back, but he didn't give Childress. They gave Childress the title of West Coast offense specialist, which basically meant he gets the coffee and donuts on Monday for the coaches meeting.
Meaning you're a friend of mine, you need a job, here you go.
Right, you're gonna get a job, so here you are. But Nagy's running that show supposedly.
Well, yeah, and that
he actually calling the plays.
Reed is still calling the plays. Reed has never. Only time Reed gave up play calling was that year in Philadelphia with Morning Wake,
which was a disaster. Which is probably why he wouldn't do it again.
And he was gone after that too.
How did Morning Wake get a head coaching job with the Lions?
By the way, my girl, she hates the Saints. She hates them with a passion. Because
by the way,
she's a Falcons fan. But that rivalry they're like the Packers and Vikings. She hates the Saints.
Who that? We that.
It was funny because last week the Saints were making fun of the Falcons for losing to us. So this week,
they were
get to make fun of the Saints for losing to us too.
Yeah, they were making fun of the Falcons.
So how many games do you think the Vikings are going to be favored in? I think they're underdogs against both games against the Lions because that's what it's just going to be.
They'll be favored against the Bears.
Underdogs
Raiders.
Against the Broncos.
They're already underdogs to the Broncos.
Are we?
Yeah, we're 2.5 points.
2.5,
which is kind of a toss-up.
Which is kind of means they're almost a favorite because if you're less than 3-point underdogs on the road, because 3 points is pretty much home field advantage. So if it's even or less than 3, so they're kind of the favorite.
They should be favored playing the Packers.
But it's okay.
They'll be underdogs against the Bengals.
They're underdogs against the Bengals. They might be underdogs against the Raiders too.
We've been playing good being the underdog, so I don't mind.
Yeah, they're guaranteed. The ones that are guaranteed to be favorites are the home games against the Bears and the Packers.
We don't have that pressure, you know.
Mm-mm. And put it this way, the Bears and Packers will probably have mailed our. No, the Bears are probably mailed.
I don't want the Packers to suck. I want the Packers to win 6 games so they keep.
No, I want them to suck, and suck some more because it doesn't matter who they draft. They're not going to have the luck that they had with Favre and with Rodgers. Them days is over.
And they didn't draft Favre. They
didn't draft Favre.
I saw somewhere earlier where a Packer fan says, "Come on, man, we can't draft quarterbacks. We drafted Favre and Rodgers back to back." I'm like, "No, you didn't."
No, Atlanta drafted Favre, and Glanville was the idiot that traded him to you guys.
Right. If it wasn't for Ron Wolf, you guys
because he was in love. I mean, because Glanville was in love with Chris Miller.
Yeah,
Mr. Concussion himself.
He wanted a veteran quarterback.
Yeah, he wanted a veteran quarterback. And here's the thing: they traded for Favre. Favre didn't play for the first 4 games.
No, Mikowski was a starter.
If Mikowski doesn't get hurt
in the Bengal
game, and the legacy started with Brett Favre, the comeback king, you don't know what happens.
Yeah,
we don't know what happens.
So is Dobbs Favre 2.0?
Is golf smart?
If it means that Kirk doesn't come back, yes.
I said is Dobbs Favre 2.0.
Like I said, if it means Kirk doesn't come back, yes.
Yeah, Mom. Wow, Mom, you're still awake? God, it's like almost 1:00 in the morning for you. He's on the East Coast.
Oh, that's late.
I love you, Mama. Thank you for watching like you always do.
That is late.
That's dedication.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I am her favorite child.
Are you her only child?
I am now. I wasn't before.
So, you know what? But with what Dobbs is doing, like I said, it opens up KOC's playbook to do some things that he couldn't do with Kirk. So, all we can do is just wait and see. But we have to stay on the road where we have to we have to play like our backs against the wall. Don't take anything for granted. Play mistake-free football.
Play like you have nothing to lose because
Play like you have nothing to lose. And avoid as many injuries as possible. You're going to get injuries. You just got to try to avoid them. So I seriously see us running the table. I'm just being honest.
I'm shocked at how like our team this year actually has depth versus last year.
Yeah, I think last year, it's safe to say last year was a feeling out process. And they got lucky They won a lot of games we had a lot of luck last year. This year we're actually winning the games, whether it be by the same amount whether it be by like 7 points or more. We're actually winning these games. There's no luck involved. We're actually outplaying these guys.
And I mean we're losing
even some of the games that
but
they lost.
We're losing like
yeah.
Like I don't know, like legitly, where we're not getting blown out any
yeah, we've been in every game this year.
Right.
Every game. We didn't like last year, the games we lost, my God. That's why I told people if you really want to look at that team last year, don't look at the 13 wins. Look at those 4 losses and how lopsided they were. That kind of gave you an idea of what this team was.
Because this year, I think the most we lost by was 8 points. Was it?
How much we lose to Tampa Bay?
No, it was 8 points. We lost to the Eagles 34-28.
We lost to Tampa Bay. It was 17-20.
Yeah. They
3 points.
They only lost by 3 points to the Bucks. That's why I'm saying even the games that they've lost, the only team they really did not play was the Eagles.
And the Eagles used the old ball control and running the ball.
And we had 4 turnovers in the first half.
Yeah. Yeah, we could not hang on to the ball for the life of us those first 3
at
games.
halftime, it was like we were up 14-13, wasn't it?
What's that again?
Like at halftime in the Eagles game, weren't we up 14-13?
Were we winning?
It was 13-7 at halftime.
Oh, yeah.
The
It was
Eagles were
something
winning
close like that, I thought.
The Eagles
it was the Kansas game that we were up 14-13.
I think it was the Chiefs game that we were leading. It was 13-7 at halftime. The Eagles scored 14 in the third.
Mm-hmm.
The Vikings scored 14 in the third. So it was 34-28 was the final. That's 6 points.
Yeah, that's 6 points.
And then,
I was thinking the Kansas game because we were up at halftime.
They lost to the Bucks 2017. Chargers game was by 4 points. Then they beat the Panthers, and then they lost the Chiefs by 7.
Yeah.
Curtis,
you controlling the chats?
Yeah.
Put up what Trisha said about me last year with this team. Yeah, that's why she does not want Kirk Cousins down in Atlanta.
Yeah, Kirk Cousins is better than what they have.
But she heard me talk about Kirk Cousins, so she wants nothing to do with him.
Okay, so would you rather have Kirk or Desmond Ridder? I'm asking her.
If it was up to her, she'd bring back Matt Ryan. That was her guy.
No. Her choices are Desmond Ridder or Kirk.
I think anybody would choose Kirk Cousins in that situation.
Except me, I take Desmond Ridder.
I don't know.
just with the with neither.
She's like, hell, I'll go out there and take the snap.
She has said that. She's actually said, "Let me out there. I'll get them mofos playing." She has said that to me. It's like, okay, honey. But yeah, I mean, it's, you know, and I just like I said, the way we lost last year compared to this year is you know, and it could be because this is KOC's second year, so he's getting used to it. Now he's just got to work. I think he should give up the play calling still and concentrate on the team and like what's going on in the game and the clock and all that other stuff
until he gets that down and he can go back to picking up play calling.
Right. And maybe go back to it or have, you know, like an input with because it would be Phillips calling the plays. You got the headset, you could be like, no, I want to run this play or that play or whatever. You're the head coach, like Curtis has said. Then you can put your 2 cents in. But
yeah, keep in mind, Satan's got Satan's too, the demons that work for him. So
you know,
talk about the Saints and how the name's the Saints, but they do all the dirty stuff.
Well, yeah, and they can't get, and they were dirty today.
Yeah, that's why it was good to see Lattimore being carted off.
Yeah, and what's the name? Johnny Munn took out 2 people on that play. He took out 2 Saints.
They tried to take him out and they collided, right?
Yeah, and then he rolled up. Oh God!
Let's go! Let's go!
You know, yeah, all 5'1" of her.
They'll never see her coming.
Oh my God! But yeah, Munn took out 2 people. You know,
that's why I said we had the best third tight end
that we never see on the field. Did Oliver play today?
Yeah, he played today. He had a couple good blocks.
Okay, because they didn't throw to him at all.
Well, that's not what he was brought in for.
Yeah, but Kirk did throw to him at least.
Yeah,
but Kirk, Mr. Checkdown.
Josh Dobbs was like, "I've seen you play."
He might not even, but you know what though? He might not know his name still.
He probably doesn't even know who he is.
He doesn't even know who he is.
We say like number 84. When do we get Moss back?
He's probably like, why do we have 5 linemen?
No, he's a tight end, Josh.
Yeah.
No, I'm saying like he's probably thinking like there's 5 linemen, because he doesn't consider Oliver as a receiver.
No. Oliver was brought here to block.
Yeah.
He's considered the best blocking tight end in the league. So
right. He was wasn't he our leading receiver there for a minute?
I think he had one game.
On checkdowns and stuff. He was like, it's like, check down Oliver.
Well, he's so big. I mean, he could, like, if we had him last year at 4th and 8 there, if he caught it at that, 4th and 3, he could just bow forward and got the first down.
Yeah, he would have ran over somebody, to be honest. And that's why it's kind of like with all the tight ends we've got like seriously 3 extra tight ends. You should be able to run the ball. You should be able to run power football.
I like Munt though. He's a good blocker.
Well, Munt was brought here exclusively to block. He's an H-back. Every now and then he will catch the pass, and every now and then he'll find the end zone. But he was brought here he knows that type of offense.
Because he came from the Rams with KOC, right?
Yep. Yeah, KOC brought him.
He was actually one of the first signings when KOC was hired.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Naylor did play today. He did have a key catch. He had 1 catch. It was a first down, and then the disappearing act started. But yeah, he got action today. So I tell you what, we've got players that fit in our system, even the backups. So that's a good thing. So we're not, throwing players out there they don't fit, take them out unless they're running backs.
The only player that doesn't fit our system is Madison.
And I don't think
he fits anything.
I don't think I can't. I don't even know.
If you're a running back and you can't read holes, I don't know what to tell you. That is literally your job.
Yeah, and he misses it. He just, you've got one job and you're not even good at that.
And listen, I've seen this on Facebook and Twitter. You can criticize, even though he is an awesome human being, you can still criticize his play on the field. I hear people say, "Oh, you know, he's such a great human being. Why are you criticizing?" We're not criticizing the man. We're criticizing
we're criticizing the football player.
Well, that's like those. I mean, if being a great guy won Super Bowls, we would have like 20 of them.
We'd have 20 of them.
Yeah.
God, we would.
Well, I don't know. That love boat would probably tarnish the.
Well, it ain't, you know what though, and it's only recently we've become Boy Scouts. I mean, we had some dudes up here even before the Love Boat thing.
Tommy Kramer.
Oh my God. It's like if there was if teams got awards for blotter reports on a weekly basis, the Vikings would be at the top of that list. They would be. Because they had some guys that were just, we'll have to do a show on that one too.
Keith Millard.
Keith Millard.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
My arms are bigger than your guns.
Yeah. Well, and then he got in that fight at the bar at a local Twin Cities bar a year later.
Yeah.
He beat up a couple because the guy's girlfriend started hitting on Millard in front of the dude. And the dude got all pissy and was going to whoop Millard's ass. And Millard was just like looking at him like, really, dude? Really?
Like, it's cool. You talk to her.
And then, then what happened was the girlfriend decided to slap Keith.
And
he pushed her out of the way. Well, then he clocked dude. So the fight did ensue, but he got out of that because he called his teammate Terry Tausch to come pick him up. And he went out the kitchen into the alley and left. They couldn't find him, but they talked to him about it. But she started it. But it was always Millard. Even before then, Carl Eller was notorious. Carl Eller was notorious for getting into. Carl Eller's the one that beat up the cops that pulled him over in his driveway at his home just 10, 15 years ago. Maybe even longer than that, but he beat up 2 cops. And I'm like, Carl was damn near 70 then, and he hadn't had a quarterback sack in probably 20 years, but he's going around these guys like they're wearing Packer and Lions jerseys.
Yeah, I don't think because TV doesn't really do it justice. I don't think people realize how big NFL players are.
Well, it's all about aesthetics, right?
Like Danielle Hunter is huge individual.
You can see pictures of Hunter. His veins are literally popping out of his arms. So that right there tells me not to fuck with him. I mean, the guys got
touch your girl. Just let him.
Yeah, matter of fact, I'll push her over. That's like, oh, baby, talk to him.
No.
But I mean,
I don't care how big the dude is. The dude goes after my wife, and he keeps going after my wife. I am going to defend my wife.
Yeah, and the thing with Millard was she started it.
Yeah,
he was playing a little game, and that, and Keith didn't fall for it. That was the whole thing. But I mean, it's just, you can't, I mean, with these players now, and some people know it, and they know they're football players or sports people or celebrities. Some people go after them intentionally to try and goat them into something.
Hey, you get one of them to hit you, you'll never have to work again.
Yeah, he won't, and that's true. And that's what they try to do, because guess what? It's going to be a lawsuit. Only problem is everything now is on camera thanks to your cell phone. So there's going to be somebody with a camera there talking about, oh, dude's fucking with that football player. Hold on, let me get this. This is going to be good.
Yeah.
And guess what? It comes out there and you're the asshole that started it, and you ain't getting shit in court unless they come to a plea agreement.
Which happens often. Which
happens a lot.
Which is pretty much what you want. But then again, how much of that does the lawyer take?
Right. That's another thing too. But it's already out there. Your ass got kicked because you started it.
My sister-in-law is an attorney. She charges $250 an hour. That's before any money before you win any money or anything like that.
And
So,
but here's the thing now, and they brought this up on one of the telecasts. I don't think it was a Viking telecast. There's a lot of NFL players that wish they were NBA players, and they look the part of an NBA player. We got a lot of wannabe NBA players in the NFL.
yeah.
We don't have even the linemen. I mean, they're not like big guys, like muscular, like they look like offensive linemen. They look like fat guys that you took to the buffet with you and ate a little too much, and now they can't wear their jerseys anymore. And the jerseys are skin tight. So, matter of fact, we'll see one next week. The lineman for the Broncos, Meinertz, he doesn't even fit his jersey.
I would have if I had a son and he wanted to play sports, I'd push him into baseball. It's the least physical demanding on your body.
Physical demanding,
and you make a shit ton of money.
Yep. Which is why Kyler Murray should have played baseball.
Yeah.
Kyler Murray should have played baseball. But here's the thing with today's football, it ain't as physical as it was before. It's not as physical.
Yeah, because some of those like guys are small.
Yeah, it's.
Well, look how small Addison is.
Yeah, he takes a lot of hits.
He was getting punked today by Saints.
Well, the Saints were kind of do that intimidation thing. They were trying to intimidate him, and he wasn't going to be intimidated.
Oh wow!
You know,
Texas A&M fired Jimbo.
Oh, they fired Jimbo Fisher. They fired him. I wish the Gophers would fire PJ Fleck, but they're going to hang on to him.
Remember, I told you that. I said, when did they fire PJ Fleck? Because they start off hot every year, and then they end up crashing.
It's you know what? They do it every year. It's old. They can't beat the top teams.
Wasn't Fisher the one that got into that thing with Saban?
Was that Fisher?
As far as what? Getting into it with Saban?
Over the whole, because they got into it at a press conference or something last year, weren't they?
Was that Jimbo?
Over NILs or something like that?
Yes, that was. Yeah, it was.
Yeah, the two coaches that have the most issue with NILs are Nick Saban and Dumbo Sweeney at Clemson. Because if you notice, since NIL has every team can do NILs, you notice how those two programs have suddenly gone down because they were doing NILs before NILs were legal.
Yeah, that's how they got all the best players.
That's how they got all the good players. That's why Clemson went from being absolute trash to being one of the top teams. Yeah. And now that every team can do NIL, Florida State has way more money than Clemson does. So all the players are going to Florida State again.
And they're realigning the conferences and everything else. There's a lot of money involved.
The bad thing about NILs is, though, all the big teams are just going to get better and better and better because they got more money.
I don't think Bama will.
Well, there's nothing in Alabama.
Right.
There's nothing in Tuscaloosa. There's absolutely nothing. Just like Clemson, there's absolutely nothing in Clemson.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, or Auburn. Yeah, it's they're either going to
they went Baton Rouge there's a lot of things going on in Baton Rouge, you know.
They'll go to LSU in Florida. LSU. Florida teams.
Well, there's nothing in Florida either. Gainesville's in the middle of nowhere.
Where's Florida State?
Florida State,
Tallahassee. That's okay. That's me.
And you have all those beaches right there, like Destin and all that. Plus, you're close to
Miami, Florida.
Miami's a private school, though.
Is it?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, Miami's a private school.
Oh my gosh. So how the hell do they get these players?
It's Miami.
Well, yeah, because I mean, have they always been private?
They've always been private.
Even the years that Jimmy and them were down there, and they were getting it's like they were getting these players like out of nowhere.
Notre Dame was private. They did the same thing.
Notre Dame, well, and with Lou Holtz, when Lou Holtz left the university and went to Notre Dame, he took his recruits with him.
Yeah.
All those guys that were at Notre Dame were supposed to be in Minnesota.
And the only player Notre Dame ever relaxed their acceptance for admittance into the college was Tony Rice.
Yeah, he was supposed to be a Gopher.
Yeah, and they're like he couldn't get into Notre Dame. They had to lower the academic
They
standard.
had to
for him
lower
to
his
get in.
academic. He could have gotten to the U, no problem. He
Yeah,
would have,
well,
but
I know everybody likes the U, but they ain't Notre Dame when it comes to academics.
no, he could have got to University of Minnesota, no problem.
Yeah, so Miami doesn't have the same. Florida is a public school, and their academics are actually higher than University of Miami's.
Yeah, it used to be in Miami. Didn't you just have to have a record?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
But no, Florida State's probably the second best location. Miami, everybody knows about South Beach in Miami. That's why they get the players. But Tallahassee, you got the Destin Beaches. You got plus you're not too far from the Mississippi and Alabama where you can go gamble and stuff like that. So.
Wait a minute, it's still gambling's still not legal in Florida?
Florida will be just like Texas. It'll be like one of the last states to do the gambling, to do the legalize marijuana and all that type of stuff. Yeah.
Florida? Really? Damn.
Yeah. Florida's very red, man. They got.
Well, I know they're very red. I just was like, my God.
Yeah, it's a heavy like Cuban Latino community. And
Yeah,
they're
Cuban.
They're very conservative.
They always have been.
Yeah.
Very Catholic,
Yep.
very reserved.
San Antonio is the same way. San Antonio is very because of all the Mexicans that are Catholic.
Yep.
Like we still can't buy alcohol on Sundays here.
We just started up here, what, 5-6 years ago?
Yeah.
And it's only open from like noon till 5.
But here's the weird thing. If you go out to eat with your family and you're 17, 18 years old, if you're with your parents, you can drink a beer at the table with your parents.
They won't do that here. You have to be 21.
If you're under 21, you can drink. Yeah.
Yeah, you have to be 21.
So it's weird.
Yeah.
It is. Every state is different. Well,
yeah,
this has been a blast, guys. We got another win.
Sarah, I can't tell you how much we appreciate you coming on every week.
Yeah, thanks for coming on.
You add so much to the show.
Because I'm not a pussy. Hopefully we don't get in trouble because I said that word.
Yeah, there's no warning on it. That's why I was kind of like trying to watch what I said, but sometimes I have to drop a few F-bombs.
Yeah, I enjoy it. That's why I come on Sunday nights.
Well, I think they care less about cuss words as opposed to that because I put on here not safe for children.
And if those kids are still awake for school tomorrow, it's like
the parents' fault.
Yeah, what are you doing there, mom and dad?
Oh, don't get me into modern day parenting.
Yeah.
That's a different show.
But
right.
I mean, we're what, 5 in a row now?
Yep.
Yeah, so we are 6-4, 5 in a row. So you're saying they go 13-4 2 years in a row?
I'm thinking, I think they run the table.
A legit 13-14.
Legit, they're actually going to beat teams. They're not going to have this luck and the ball bounces their way. They're going to make their own luck, but they're going to beat teams. They're not going to leave it to chance. They're actually going to go out there and beat some teams, which is
you're not hearing anybody say frauds.
No. If they put it this way, they run the table and they're legit wins. And when I say legit wins, you're winning from start to finish and you're dominant in that process. You're no longer frauds. You're somebody that I worry about in postseason play.
Yep.
I
agree.
That's just, you just have to look at it that way. Will they have maybe a slip up or two? Possibly. But this team right now is feeling something. This team right now feels that momentum, and they feel like, what? Screw last year. This is this year. It's a different team. So we're doing things differently, and it's working.
And it seems like they're doing more with less.
Yeah, actually they are.
Yeah,
they really are. Especially on the defensive side of the ball. That defense right there, and they're going to have their moments where they're going to let off some big runs. They're going to couple of passes, but for the most part, they don't stay in that rut. They regroup quick and they get back on the ball, and they're hitting people in that secondary.
Yeah,
they are actually hitting people. So there's a whole different mentality with Flores. I would like for KOC to get that kind of mentality on the offensive side of the ball. Like I said before, you switch Madison with Chandler or in Nwangu or bring up McBride, but you got to get that running game started and let Dobbs be Dobbs.
Well, Dobbs has that swagger to him.
He's playing with house money.
Yeah.
He's playing with house money. So
he has swagger. He's not playing with that Coles cash.
No. And also, I got to bring this up. I'm going to bring this up. With him winning these 2 games, it has shut up a lot of the Kirk Crusaders, which is, I'm going to be honest, it's nice. Because those were the same people that wanted to see this team go 0-9 the rest of the way because of Kirk not being there. But with Dobbs, the whole narrative has changed.
Yeah.
I never want this team to go 0-9.
I never want this team to go 0-9 either.
Yeah, I mean, even with Kirk, I didn't want.
And a winning record wasn't guaranteed with Kirk. My God, how long has he been here?
Yeah. I mean, like, honestly, for me, it's like, I don't care who's at center. Just win.
I prefer a tougher center, but, but you know what? Things are working. We can't complain. It's another win, another week. We beat a team that we were underdogs to, believe it or not.
Well, and winning just makes people happy.
Yeah. It starts a culture, and I can guarantee you with KOC, no matter how they won last year to this year, the culture is there of winning. They've just got to get those meaningful wins in the playoffs.
So Tony and I, we have a show Wednesday night, Vintage, talking Vikings history.
Mm-hmm.
What's this week's topic?
We don't know yet.
We'll probably
Wednesday at 5:00 in the afternoon.
How
what are we talking about today? I don't
Viking
know.
felons?
So, but
God, I don't know if I used to have like a sheet of convicted guys.
I don't know if they have enough, but we'll figure it out. I'll put it in the thumbnail when I create it, and then we also have our
bi-weekly show. I'm gonna say I did think about talking about the top 10 Viking running backs.
So
when we could run the ball, put it that way.
Yeah.
that'll bring back some memories.
To Alfred Anderson.
I liked Alfred. He was a good guy.
And then so Friday we have our bi-weekly status of the NFC North. So that's going to be a good show.
That's going to be very interesting.
What time is that one on?
That's I think around the same time, 8:30, 9 o'clock.
Oh, okay.
But it's a Friday night, so
yeah.
But there's other content creators that are out there.
Right, and then
earlier.
I don't know how many other people are doing it because it's Sunday Night Football are doing a post game show, but we are definitely doing our post game show after the game. I don't know if I'm gonna do the live broadcast like I did last couple of weeks, but I haven't figured that part out. But we're definitely doing the post game show Sunday night, probably around.
Yeah, I've been enjoying you guys Sunday night.
So that'll probably be around 10:30 or so, probably.
Right. Well, depending on when the game gets over, it'll probably be over maybe by 11 Eastern. Maybe even sooner than that. Depends on which Broncos team shows up and which Viking team shows up. So, but yeah, we'll definitely be on.
Yeah.
So
and those will be our shows. Tony got Tony Talk, Tony Takes too.
Yeah, I'll do that. I'll probably do that tomorrow morning, and I'll have it uploaded. It's on my Facebook page, and I'll put it on Yogi's page. Also.
Yeah, the 24/7.
Right.
Yogi show.
Which is the last few weeks I've actually been pretty complimentary of KOC and even Kirk, which is weird for me because last year I was just they got on my last nerve.
Yeah, that's weird for me too, hearing that from you.
It's weird for me to say it. I'm literally, even when before Kirk got hurt, I was like, okay, I can't rip on this guy.
He was playing
right
top 5
now.
level when he got hurt.
He was playing top 5 level when he got hurt. I still get on KOC for his play calling, but there are times where I'm like, okay, KOC, it's almost like on the job training with him. So he's kind of getting it. I still wish he'd give up the play calling, but I can't really see anything to be, that negative about. And he's done the best with what he's been given, which isn't a lot. So, but yeah, I'll probably put that out tomorrow.
So here's my last thoughts. Let's see if we make it onto the power rankings tomorrow.
Why do we even have power rankings in the NFL? That is so high school.
Well, we know it's. Let's see. I can see it right now. It's going to be Eagles at 1, Chiefs at 2, Lions at 3, 49ers at 4, and
Cowboys
at 5.
So we've got to be in the top 10.
No, they'll probably still have. They still had the Saints above us last week's power rankings.
Well, that's not going to happen this week. I think we move into the top 10.
I don't know.
Jacksonville lost.
Watch with our luck. They're going to put us at 11.
Yeah, we're not good enough yet.
They're going to put the Vikings at 11.
Even
and they're
though
going to
we are the only team left that has the longest winning streak now that the Jags got knocked out.
Well, you're going to have to move
the Bengals
down.
Yes, you'll move the Bengals.
The Texans will still be in front of us.
Yeah, because of CJ Stroud. Because CJ Stroud is just that kid is lighting it up.
Yeah,
that kid is lighting it up. So they'll be ahead of us, but I don't see anybody else.
The Dolphins will still be ahead of them.
Yeah, and the Dolphins were on
the Browns will probably be in front of them. The Ravens, even though they lost, will still be in front of them.
So 11 is probably where we end up.
Some people might even put Pittsburgh in front of them.
Oh, then they lose all respect. Then they lose all respect as far as they're no better than Pro Football Farce, which
some people might put Seattle in front of them.
What other teams have 4 losses?
Besides us, let's see.
The Bills.
Yeah, the Bills. Yeah, it could be the Bills.
So the Bills are 6-4. The Bengals are 5-4.
And they're not a very good 5-4.
Well, the NFC North, there's a possibility all 4 teams may be ranked in front of Minnesota. Because the Ravens are 7-3, the Steelers are 6-3, the Browns are 6-3.
Steelers are 6-3?
Yeah,
that's what I said too. How are they scoring?
Well, what am I missing?
And the Bengals are 5-4. The Chiefs are 7-2. They're the only team with above 500 in the West. The Dolphins are 6-3, and the Bills are 5-4. So all those teams. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 teams, and the Jaguars and the Texans. So that's right there. That's what 9?
I'm telling you what. The Jaguars fall out.
And
I think the Dolphins are kind of
Eagles. The Eagles and the Cowboys, the 49ers, the Seahawks, the Lions. All those teams will be in front of Minnesota. So Minnesota's probably going to be around.
So 14th. Minnesota's going to be around 14th or 15th.
Yeah.
No.
Well, all those teams have better records than Minnesota. They all have 3 losses, except for Buffalo. Everybody else has got 3 losses.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, there's a lot of 3-loss teams. I think there's only a couple teams that have 4 losses.
Right. Well, you know what? Just ignore it and keep playing the Vikings keep playing ball the way they are.
So the Vikings are the only team in the NFC with 1 loss. The Bills have 4 losses, and the Bengals have 4 losses. So and the Texans. So there's only 4 teams that have 4 losses and 3 from in the AFC.
I'll tell you what, if Denver goes in there and wins tomorrow night, they're going to be up. They're going to be up for the Sunday night game. But then again, they could overlook the Vikings also. So we got that there. We can do now, basically one game at a time. One game at a time, and just
nothing to lose, one game at a time.
Right. You, like I said, we're playing with house money. So,
and I think Dobbs works on Tuesdays, so that was just a dig at Kirk.
But okay, we were talking about this earlier. Perfect example. They're not talking about point differential with the Steelers.
Yeah, they're being outgained and outscored, which is that I did know. But I just looked at the Steelers and I'm kind of like, these guys are just barely hanging on there. They're not the same Steelers. They don't intimidate nobody, put it that way. But even with Pickett, that's the whole thing. Pickett's not a good quarterback.
Yeah, I'd rather take Kirk than Pickett.
Yeah, Pickett's not a good quarterback. And they can't run the ball like they used to.
That's why I'm like, how are they winning?
They got a great head coach.
Oh, yeah, Tomlin.
It's all about culture.
Tomlin will never be below 500. Never. He will never be below 500. So, but yeah, like with the Vikings, it's just one game at a time. Keep building on what you have. And, like I said, be prepared, Viking fans. There's going to be maybe one or two hiccups in the process. But this team is making their own destiny, put it that way.
And this team has more toughness to them, I think, than last year.
Yeah, they are not soft.
Yeah,
even
the offensive players like that hit that JJ threw, that hit that Cam Akers threw. I'm like, damn.
I'm surprised Cam didn't get hurt on that play.
He is fragile.
Yeah, I'm surprised he didn't get hurt on that play.
But I like seeing that kind of stuff. It's like
you want to see that, and the players pick up on it.
Yeah.
When you see like an offensive player come back and lay out a defensive guy, and it's from one of the littlest guys on the team, that gets you amped up.
Although I suggest Addison not do it, he might fly off.
Right. And the sad part is with today's football, if you're a defensive player, you can't really hit anybody anymore. So you got to be careful how you hit them. It's even sacking a quarterback, because I thought for sure with the way that the game was going late, I thought what's his name was going to get hit with a roughing a passer on the interception. Who was it? It wasn't Daniil. It might have been Metellus, but they hit him, and they hit him late. But it wasn't late. It was just as soon as he got rid of the ball. But I was so worried they were going to throw the flag on that play.
Oh, yeah. But then it ended up being like a 5-yard penalty or something only for illegal whatever or something. Yeah.
Right. But yet Daniil Hunter loses his helmet, but he gets called for illegal use of hands.
You know why they didn't get that call? Because it was Winston.
Well, the way they hit Carr, I thought for sure they were going to get a flag on that play.
Yeah.
I thought for sure, because not only did Hunter hit him high, but Roy had his legs wrapped up.
Oh, no, the refs don't care about Carr. They'll get fined, but that's it.
they're going to get fined.
Well, another great show, another great post-game show. We talked about the shows we're doing this week. Sarah, you're welcome as always. Vikings win. So what else? 5 in a row. What else can you ask for?
I know you're scared. I do too. If I were you. I know you're scared. I do too. If I were you. You better bring it